With Phil stumbling drunkenly out of his bed, appearing in his head all the things he's wanting to be said. 90 minutes of Phil to Phil, with so much time to kill. He promised chill, but all he does instead is beg and shell. The stream's online and straight away begins to whine, but all is fine as long as Shaz's benign and doesn't step out of line. His content's immature for all to endure like fresh manure, but I feel sure he ran straight to feeling so insecure. The money earned from yesterday was withdrawn and long gone, as Phil's spending impulse is always set to stay on. If supports are also slow and stays so low and fails to grow, you never know, the show may turn into an easy bingo. Once ticked off across the board with charge to what because his code can be ignored, just how much DSP makes us feel so bored to help us fight or sleep and try to keep alert to watch a creep will play bingo, but Phil will bitch and why his sheep are also cheap, while DSP is chasing green, we're seeing green across the screen as Phil's routine predictability rivals are so machine, snorting, burping, leaning, ban. It matters not if I try to find a child can't see if powers make him feel less of a man. Takes a drink and starts his like before lunching into a big pretending there for bills when truth is there to buy a wrestling JPEG. Talks about his shitty life of college cat and fatty life and all his strife of forgetting that it's done well and they were rife. With drama he will react but isn't act that is a fact as he rehearsed to be exact in how he felt he was attacked. She's nearly over and a win is in sight with what to white despite Phil to light that tips were not white. We'll say alright it is okay and now it's time for Phil to play, but first he'll say that tips will help from being off the other day. And with those words we win again, it's never if but always when the game is won. Thanks to that we made it to the very end. Hey guys, King Janet here, and I have been running a poll since I started the stream on whether we should remove the word meaningful or not from the rotation, because yeah, as you can see, since the 1st of August Phil has said it 39 times since the 1st of August. Now in theory that sounds like he said it once every day because it's been about 40 days since the 1st of August. From today, the 10th of September, you know, it's like roughly, it's like 41 days or something. But it doesn't quite work out that way because he says the word meaningful a lot, sometimes on certain days. He said it on the 6th of September, and that was the first time he said it in September, the word meaningful. Before then, yeah, he said it a few times in August, but a lot of those times were the same day. He said it once in the 30th. He said it like 4 or 5 times on the 29th, and you see a pattern here, you know, sometimes they'll just say it a lot in one certain day. And it has actually killed a few different bingo cards to the point where I'm like, should we just fucking remove this evil word from rotation? Now, the thing is though, he still does say it a fair amount. You know, it's one of those things where I feel very conflicted in removing something he does actually say on a somewhat regular basis, as these results from Pig Go determine. You know, he says it, you know, like once every few days essentially. So I just thought I'd let the community decide, and right now it's actually quite close. Remove it is winning, but it's not winning by much, it's 59%. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I think I'm going to give it another like 6 minutes or so. I don't mind waiting till like 5 to, well, my time it's 5 to 7. Bill's time it's going to be like 5 to 11. But I don't mind waiting another few minutes just to kind of get more results in for people to turn up. We'll give it a little bit more time and we'll let the community decide. So if the people want it removed, it shall be gone. Meaningful content. He fucking loves saying that word as well. It's bizarre that... It's just so bizarre he doesn't say it as often these days. Phil is awake, as you can see. He says, "Hey guys, I'm setting up now, almost ready to go." He's playing Saints Row on his day stream. And yeah, it wasn't a brilliant night for Phil. The Capcom Fighting Collection got about $75. This has not been updated yet. The night stream details, not updated. So he got $107 in the day stream. Night stream was like $75, $76. 25 of those dollars were from Detractor, predictably. So, yeah. Phil got about $170 odd, you know, maybe $180 overall yesterday, both streams combined, which was, as you can tell, probably kind of average these days. It's got a bit of an average figure he gets. It's within the last week or so anyway, it's kind of what his average seems to be, roughly. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting for Phil to get all properly set up. I'm just going to give the poll a little bit more time. Nothing interesting to report on the tweet side of things. He had a YouTube short, or YouTube snort as I like to refer to them as, the snort schedule for Saturday, September the 10th. But he fucking just makes us a YouTube snort just for that, specifically. And it just fucking has his schedule spammed in everywhere, for fuck's sake, man. Tony's asking me in chat what's the most ridiculous word that Phil says that tickles me. That's like an interesting question. I mean, let's look at his massive list of Phil words that we've got here, you know, like, not just words obviously, but actions here, but what is it? To be fair, the thing that, it's a very common thing, right, and everyone says it, including myself, but whenever Phil says okay, you can't just, you know how, if anyone ever saw the old Daspo shit videos where he parodied Phil, right? This is before Daspo shit became a fucking pay-pig, of course, you know, and just fucking lost his head to that shit, you know. He parodied Phil and he had that kind of strange okay, like a grating kind of okay. Anytime I hear Phil say okay, I just think of that. Personally, it's kind of weird. That and literally. Because whenever Phil uses the term literally, he never often is using it accurately. Which is a common mistake, to be fair. A lot of people make that mistake. But it's just something I think kind of funny, you know. Phil, Mr. Valedictorian, Mr. I'm so fucking smart. You know, it doesn't say thus a whole lot. I said it yesterday, randomly. Thus. Tony doesn't like support and play some money. Yeah, he can't. He's one of those kind. He's a bit of a bitch to try and be upfront about it. You know, and say just give me all your fucking money. Nah, he's like, and that's support. Support is very key, and engagement is key. You know, that shit. And it's like you can remind them, but there's a lot of people there. There was a lot of people in attendance. There's a lot of likes on the video. That kind of engagement was incredible, Phil. You had a lot more viewers than usual. And I was like, no, but the tips were so. So, oh, so that's what he fucking meant. Money. Just fucking say money then. Yeah, dick. Well. As I said, Phil's not even gone live yet properly. He should have been live at 1:45, but he was a wee bit late turning up to stream, even though he was fucking wide awake for it and all that shit, so. But yeah, I'm just going to let the poll run another couple more minutes. Remove it is still ahead, it's 60%, so roughly the same as it was before. So I can always add it back in the future, you know, if we want to, if there's any need to add it. And yeah, it's kind of guaranteed. If we do remove it today, it's almost a guarantee he will say it. It's just the way Phil is. He is quite contrary to it seems. I'm just looking at more the kind of more of the words that he says, you know. Hate to say what I mean by that is would be great. I'll be honest with you guys. Here's the thing. He loves saying here's the thing. That's when it's fucking. It's like whenever he says here's the thing, it's like he's trying to think of a good way to not sound like a dick, you know. So here's the thing: is I need to be open and transparent here without sounding like an arsehole about this. Huh? Shut the fuck up! Fucking stupid ass music. So, what's night? Are you going to watch Ubisoft Forward Show? Is Habib Gaming is asking. And Phil said, no, I'm not. No more live reacts for a while. They don't really make sense when I'm actually trying to actually play and make progress in games. For example, we'll talk about the Disney Showcase on the podcast today, and there's not even much to talk about. But if I'd watched it yesterday, it would have screwed up my streamas. Mr. Valedictorian can't spell streams. Streamas. Sounds kind of Italian, which is what Phil was probably going for. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for the poll. Now, people are wanting it removed. You know, 61% is wanting it removed. I can dig that. So I will remove it from, you know, from the rotation for now. Where? I need to find it on my big list of fucking, you know, my wee notepad file. Just so I don't encode it accidentally, I need to remove it from there. There it is there, meaningful. You guys can't see my notepad file, but that's okay, don't need to. I need to remove it from this list as well. I've got here, there it is there. Okay, so we're removing it for now. Does anybody want anything added in or back in? I mean, we get time to get it sorted, you know, if people want something new added again, because, you know, I'm fucking sorting out the whole list now. And if people want to see the whole massive list of things, I can very quickly show you guys, just on the notepad file. Here is the notepad file in question. Ta-da! We just click save very quickly. Short, okay, that's definitely a good one to add. Because obviously, so I can just embrace YouTube Shorts. Okay, so short's a very good one to add. I'm going to add that one. So basically, we substituted meaningful for short. Profit, Phil doesn't get sex bots. It's because the way he's got his channel set up. The way Phil has his kind of weird setup, it means he doesn't get sex bots. Can we replace meaningful with I don't know? I don't know. How often does it say I don't know? Let me type in the Pig Go, how often he says that. 2 seconds. Profit, them appearing here isn't a part of the bingo. No, I'm not. Profit, you rigged that anyway. Profit would rig the game. No. We're not rigging including sex bots in the fucking bingo. That's defeats the purpose of fucking bingo. That's right. So I'm just searching Pig Go right now for I don't know. We do have him laughing as part of it. You know, it's one of the more recent additions, I think. Him just laughing. Is it? What was it? It's not actually that fucking recent. It's here on where if I can see it? I've seen it earlier on. If I can see it now, I fucking missed it. There it's here. Laughs. We're right here. So laughs is the right part of it. Cool. So why is this? Why is this all greyed out? Why is there no thumbnail for this? Is there something wrong with this fucking pre-stream? No, it's there. I'm just wondering what happened to the thumbnail for this shit. That's kind of weird. So, 3,778 results from him saying I don't know on, you know, just the podcasts alone. He said it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I think him saying I don't know is too common. The first 10 results have all been from yesterday's podcast. I mean, allow me to show you. I mean, just in case you fucking, I'm on the Pig Go results right now, just so I can, you can see. It says it's so fucking much. I think it's pointless to add it to a bill. I mean, it's just it's more free than a snort at this rate. He actually had like 9 snorts, I think, the other day. He said I don't know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times yesterday. He said it just 16 times alone. That is actually more common than a snort. For some DSP streams anyway. Not all of them, but some of them. Nah, it's way too common. I'm not going to throw I don't know in there. It's way too common. It's an interesting shout, but the fact is it's extremely common. I think it would just... It's better than a free space, in my opinion. I don't know. And everyone says... Hell, I fucking just said it right there. Everyone says I don't know. So, I don't know. So, right, so, fuck it. So, let me get my big bingo list again. How about Defiant? Do you mean I don't know on its own? I don't know. Okay, how about this then? It's a good shout, VLX. I think I get what you're saying, VLX. Him saying I don't know on its own. Just as an expression. You can't have like a sentence like, I don't know what to do here, I don't know what to do there. But it'd have to be, I don't know. Basically the way I fucking use it. Just him saying, I don't know, on its own. Which I think is a better one to use. If you go to Pig Go. What about this one here? Load
game, and now they can't play it anymore. I don't know.
Like that would be a perfect example of how what would be an acceptable I don't know. Just that being used as an expression, essentially. That is basically him using it as an expression, that kind of I don't know. And I think that would be tolerable. That would be an acceptable use. So if I'm going to throw in a bingo card, it's got to be for that. And if people are cool with that, I'll add it. Conroy says a good point there, it opens up a lot of close calls. You know what, I'm going to just ignore it for now. You know, it's getting a bit late, you know, we need to get a bingo card sorted, you know. we'll put a pin in it, you know, and we can maybe decide in the next stream what we're adding to it, if we're going to add or not, you know, but we'll put a wee pin in it for now. For now, we're just going to, we've removed meaningful, and we have added snorts, or shorts, but I call them snorts. So let me pick everything from my list here. I need to update this list on the right hand side of the screen. Just Control A, pick everything, then shuffle the hell out of it all. There we fucking go. Give a good old fucking shuffle. There we fucking go. 108 different entries on this fucking list, as you can see. And let's spin the wheel. That fucking face, man, is demented. Food Talk is the winner. We have Food Talk as the winner of today's bingo. Now I need to hit close and not remove. If I hit remove, it'll fucking just yeet it from the fucking bingo card altogether. Right. Now, I don't fucking actually I don't have anything set up here yet, no, so there's no point in fucking putting numbers in chat because I don't even have this card set up properly yet. Level 1 podcast bingo, so hold your numbers now because I've not even got what I need done yet. So 2 seconds. So copy and paste all that. Get into here. There we go. The free space is going to be snort as always. Okay, and we're generating 1,000 different bingo cards. But specifically, we want Food Talk. And I need a number between 1 and 211. First number I see in chat is the number I'll use. $22, Tom Tony's was the first number I saw in chat, 22. Naltoronin, sorry you're a bit late. And Dashi, you were fucking miles off of what I asked. Why are people obsessed with 69? You're all fucking, it doesn't matter. Tom Tony won it. He was the first number I saw in chat when I asked a question. He had 22. So a 22nd bingo card, which is going to be this one right here. We have got YouTuber Jealousy, him saying likes, him drinking, him saying reality, and voted. Then we've got Food Talk, Camera Point, him saying bills, Siege Mode, which is where he crosses his arms, and him saying fuck. Remember, DSP is a fucking child-friendly content creator. His videos are not age-restricted, even though he does say fuck all the fucking time. Next line we've got him saying life, alright, him snorting, the prayer hands, which is why he puts his hand together like he's fucking praying, and him saying tired. Then we've got him doing a Y or a T pose, him touching his ear or poking in his ear for some reason, him saying, you know what I mean, sound good, and hate to say. Finally, we've got any scat talk, him saying new games, him making a weird noise, him saying would be great, and him butchering a word. What was the word he had to butcher yesterday? I think Prophet was the one that spotted it actually yesterday. That we had a good laugh at, you know. I can't even mind. I can't even mind what the fucking word was that he butchered yesterday, but it was a fucking cracker. Shit, man, I can't actually remember. Let me very quickly save this bingo card and get the stream set up. That was it. It said tree-penned, didn't he? Or tree-tend, that's it. He wanted to say pretend and instead said pretend. That was it, pretend. That's so fucking bizarre. Not as bizarre as just me saying tree-penned. Fucking swapping the T and the P about. Although, fun story, I was on holiday when I was years younger. And my mother had too much wine and she said she felt a bit peculiar. It's just, I mean, hand on heart, she said peculiar. So she had a couple of wines too many. She was like, I feel a bit peculiar. I fucking love her. Pretend. So if he butchers a word again, which he likely will, he does it often, and he will, you know, that'll be a tick for the square. But that's the bingo card saved. Shiny Shinkle Fleur, how you doing? Shinkle's chair itches. You probably shouldn't sit in your chair naked then, pal. I'm just saying, if you're feeling the itchiness from your own chair, I assume your skin's contacting the chair, which means you're probably half naked at least. That's my logic anyway. But yeah, Phil will be going live quite soon, I assume. We are... so let's get the bingo card all set up and you guys can enjoy music before we start the stream. Oh yeah, I added a couple of wee borders to the fucking video. So you can see like around the video itself and the chat, I've got a wee slight border. And I've got a wee sign as well on the left hand side of the chat, just saying DSP chat, just so people know what it is. Methfair's asking, when I say wine, do I mean Buckfast? No, I mean literal, like, wine, but... I mean, Buckfast is a tonic wine, isn't it? So, yeah, but nah. My mother doesn't touch Buckfast, nor do I really. I don't know it. I've had Buckfast before, I don't really like it. It's kind of shite. Anyway, enough of that pish, you know, but enough of that boring nonsense from me. Let's get the bingo cards showing up, and you guys can enjoy some good old Meerkat music before Phil properly starts the fucking stream, so... Let me just, I'll shut up and I'll turn the music up. So, yeah, thanks guys for helping me sort out the bingo card.
Where my fucking money goes to every month. Garbage dump, grocery shopping, pay my taxes, pet store, pay my bills, blowing his money on mobile games, blowing his money on this and that. I'm spending all this money buying DoorDash for my business. I need to put disgusting food in the mouths of my family members. Obviously, I need tips. Yes, I spend money on mobile games. Okay? These are my life priorities. Pay my taxes.
It's my day off. Might leave the camera on and jerk off. It's my day off. Spend money on posts and dumb shit. It's my day off. Might go out with my bitch wife. Can't give me money today.
Obviously, I need tips.
Give me money today.
This is where my fucking money goes to every month.
Shout out to the trolls.
For those who contributed, thank you. It would be great if we get a few more tips. To make up, earlier today we did not hit the hat goal either. It's been a very slow day. It would be great if we could pick it up a little bit with maybe some contributions tonight with tips. If you can, just saying. You know, I know some people are super chatting or whatever. That helps long term, but right now I really can help. Tomorrow's my day off. The tips I'll have for my day off, you see?
Give me money today.
Act like that, those toxic assholes don't give a shit about anyone else but themselves. They're selfish idiots who just want to get a laugh on someone else's behalf and don't care about the repercussions of their own actions. They think they're protected because they're all anonymous on the internet, right? So here I am with an actual business being destroyed by that toxic behavior.
Big ups, Meerkat.
Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me. Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself. Me. I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. My nigga, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address. I have all your fucking personal information. I will come find you in real life.
I'm gonna find out who the fuck you are. Let this be noticed live on the internet. You're fucked and you are done. I'm coming for you.
Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me. Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself. Me. I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me. Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself. Me. I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. But let me tell you something. When your life is all positive instead of negative, it's a much better situation. And I can tell you that from personal experience. Look at my life now. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful life with a family, right? Everything here is so much better than what I had before. Why? Because I'm a positive person. That's why. I never would have gotten to where I am today if I just sat there constantly being negative, being angry, being upset, being jealous, crapping on stuff, shitting on stuff, hating me. It's such a way, it's not a way to live. But these idiots actually do this and don't know that. I really have to think and I have to hope. These people just don't know better.
That is a business related, and I do still have it.
It's WWE champion time. Go.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
I love it. Go.
By eBay.
Hell
been tough. I always think that it's my fault. Drinking gin. Yep, I'm toxic. I love Hulk Hogan's dick. My ass is so fucking stretched.
Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for you. For now?
Go. Hence the money, stupid fuck.
I love it.
Go. By eBay. Hell! Hateful slurs. Lame brain pieces of dumb fucking hateful slurs.
Why am I toxic? I love it. Hey, Mr. Burnell, you there? I am present.
Right, I understand. He's claiming that he's got $5,000 a month in expenses and only $5,000 a month in income, and net's about $35.
It's Tevin's fault.
The topic I want to discuss is depression. Depression is not a joke. It's not something to be joked about with. You are not alone. You are not a horrible person because you have this. It's not your fault. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time.
It's been tough. Over the last decade. It has. It's been tough. It's been tough. Over the last decade. It has. It's been tough. It's been tough. Phil's a beggar. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. It's been tough. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. It's been tough. Phil's a beggar. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. It's been tough. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar.
Super Meat Boy is in the stream chat, whining and complaining, saying that I never talk to anyone unless they tip me or they send me money, which is completely false. All he's been doing is sitting there all night complaining that he's depressed and no one cares. And everyone's basically ignoring him because you're like, dude, we just don't care. You know, you come in, the first thing you say is you're depressed. And what are we supposed to say to that? Now he expects that I'm going to derail the whole stream to talk to him live. So let's do it. Super Meat Boy, how you doing? You're really depressed tonight, huh? You're really depressed.
My stream is my place of business.
The company's name is Burnell Productions. It is internet content creation.
Hey guys, Bill's going live right now. You guys all know the drill. So pick me up in chat if I miss anything on the bingo card. If you need to pause and rewind, I don't mind doing that either. But yeah, we are beginning bingo now. And yeah, tag me in chat if I miss anything just in case. Hopefully we get a full 25 out of 25. We'll just have to wait and see. But fingers crossed, and hopefully today will be a day that we can really enjoy a good weekend and we get a second ever full house. So fingers crossed, good fucking luck guys, here we go.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. DSP here. The ghost is off.
Did he just fucking swear? Did he say fuck there? He made weird noises, that's for sure. He definitely made weird fucking noises. Did he say son of a fucking bitch, or did he fucking just make weird noises before he got to the fuck?
The ghost is off.
I mean, would you count it as a fuck or that? It's like, he kind of mumbled it, you know? It's a weird one. I'm gonna need to chat decide. Did Phil say fuck here?
Joe.
Yeah or nay? Did Phil say
DSP
fuck?
here. The ghost is off.
It's like a child fucking trying to get away with swearing, you know? Or like, you know, you ever see Home Alone in the wee fucking, you know, like Joe Pesci? He can't swear, so he just fucking makes a fucking weird noise. It's like, oh, rush him. It's weird. It's like that. It's like trying to be PG friendly when he wants to fucking swear. He's trying that cliche where he's swearing under mumbling. That's what I'm saying. Should I tick fuck? Yes or no? Let's just very quickly decide this. He said son of a fucking bitch. No, he's trying to underswear. Son of a fuff. He definitely said it, but not like literally. No. There's too many people saying no, so fuck it. He will say fuck probably later on, anyway, probably, so it's okay. We'll get him later on. We'll fucking get him later on.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Phil here. Welcome to the Level 1 podcast, where we're having fun down here on Level 1. And today is going to be a lot more laid back of a day than yesterday was, because yesterday I came back from break and had so much to talk about. Today, definitely more relaxed, okay? Although we do have some stuff to talk about, all right? We got to talk about the schedule. We got to talk about the event that happened yesterday, the Disney event. And it's kind of funny because people were saying this weekend there's a ton of digital events. Yesterday was this Disney digital event. Today is Ubisoft Forward. I believe there's another one coming up. It might be like a Nintendo Direct. And people are like, Phil, are you going to cover them? Yes, I'm going to talk about them on the podcast. That's why I do a podcast every day, right? And then people are like, well, Phil, are you going to do a live react to them?
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Paul J. Bradley Jr. for the super chat, who says, bruh, that head skin. I mean, yeah, it's, his head looks, it doesn't look good. It does not look good at all. It's, I don't know, man, it's like, how else would you even describe it, man? What should Phil do with his head? Like, the hair's not working clearly, the beard doesn't work either these days, it looks terrible. Especially when you've seen him in his latest YouTube snorts, the snort schedule, whatever. He just looks... It does not look like he's 40, it looks at least 50 odd, it's bizarre. Should Phil go bald? Like shave off the beard and shave off the hair or something? Should he start wearing a wig? I don't understand. Bald DSP. Shinko asks him to bash it into a brick wall to even out. I'll fucking help him do it.
And, I think about it. And the more I think about it, the answer is no. All right, and here's why. There's a couple reasons. Number one, the last few digital events I covered, okay, including Gamescom, which was, a couple weeks ago, the Summer Games Fest stuff, right, and those other digital events that they did. Well, they were all right to cover live, but I don't necessarily think that covering them live really necessarily added anything. And what I mean by that is, what I used to do when I covered these shows is I would do what was called a recap reactions. I would watch them live with you guys, okay? And I would hold on a second, because the color's off again. That better? It is. Look at that. I became amazingly more flesh colored with the click of a button. Isn't that amazing? Okay, anyway. What I used to do is I would watch these events live, but I would not live commentate over them. Instead, I would watch them live with you, and we'd be sitting in a stream chat talking with each other, and I'd be taking notes. I would allow my thoughts to formulate around what we were watching, okay? And then I would do my recap reactions immediately following them. Now, this is what I used to do for E3. E3 doesn't exist anymore, right? But that's how I used to tackle it. People really liked that, because instead of me just live reacting to shit on the screen and not having much to say, instead, it's me formulating thoughts and having intelligent thoughts about the things that are going on. Very different from the style of live react that most content creators do today, right? So, that's how I always enjoyed doing it. But
is that considered YouTuber jealousy? Him talking about other people doing live reacts? Yeah, like strange inverted commas, and to me, whenever he talks about any other YouTuber doing this, it comes across a wee bit as a wee bit of jealousy because they can do it a whole lot better than he can. Hey, Heather P, how you doing? Not sure, I mean, it's a very borderline YouTuber jealousy, but to me it comes across as he is jealous that they can actually do reacts in a more entertaining manner and Phil can't because he's not, witty enough or creative enough to live react on the spot. He actually, and he admitted to this, he has to articulate his thoughts, he has to plan on what he's going to say before he reacts to it. Which kind of defeats the whole purpose of a live react if he cannot react in live real time. So is that him showing jealousy there for other people that are able to do, live reacts more effectively?
And it starts to click, if someone just keeps saying sorry when they do something, they're not really apologizing.
I don't know, it's just one of those things, is it worth ticking YouTuber jealousy? Because I don't know. It's very borderline, fuck it, no. I'll leave it for now.
But this year people kind of almost demanded that I adjust to how everyone else does it. And so I did. Now, some of the live reacts I've done I felt were really useful. For example, reacting to the Down the Rabbit Hole documentary about Wings of Redemption, or about myself, or the John and Rambo video, the John and Howard video, was pretty neat to be able to watch, comment, and add supplementary information and my perspective on it, right? But I don't know necessarily how much the reacting has really added much at all to the gaming events. And in reality, for the amount of setup it takes and the fact that it takes away from my streaming time, my normal streaming time to do them, I haven't seen payoff. Attendance isn't that great. Support isn't that great. Views on YouTube aren't that great. Essentially, it's kind of like, meh, Phil did it, okay. It's not a big deal, you see? To give you some perfect perspective here. Yesterday was a new release day. I played Splatoon 3 on the first stream, and then we had our usual Friday Night Fights fighting game stuff on the late stream. Both streams went well. Viewership was good. Support was good. Zero complaints. I had a good time. But yesterday was the digital event for Disney. I could have taken time out of my regular streams to react to the Disney event, but guess what? There's almost nothing to talk about. Half the presentation was about mobile games no one cares about. The other quarter of the presentation was just updates on games with no concrete information at all, with very little to talk about. We will talk about maybe the 2 to 3 updates that they actually gave in the event that people cared about. And then the other funny part about this was the games everyone wanted to know about, like Spider-Man and Wolverine, they only showed off in a closing montage with zero information. Wow, that would have been a great live react. I would have wasted an hour of my stream of boredom, having nearly nothing to say. I could easily do it right now on the podcast today, which is the point of me having a podcast every day. You see? So here's the thing. Today, there's an Ubisoft Forward event. Yes, it takes place during my live stream. Do I care? Not really. I'll look up the information. I'm sure you guys will tell me the information during the stream regardless. We'll talk about it over the streams or tomorrow. It's not a big deal. I don't have to completely change my schedule around for this. And you know what's really funny about this? There's people who actually fly to these events. I'm not kidding. There's journalists, I should say that in quotation marks, journalists who literally fly to these events to sit there for an hour and watch nothing. Why? Why the fuck are you there? There's no reason for you to go there.
Now there's a fuck. There's a fuck right there.
You've wasted your time, money, and effort. There's no reason for anyone to be there in person. You've missed nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even shit. When I was at E3 10 years ago, in person, I was at E3. I didn't know why I was there. I learned more about most games by going online and reading about it on the online videos and presentations than I was being there in person. You see what I'm saying?
I think he was there because Machinima literally offered to send him. I think that's the whole reason that he went to E3 is because he went to Phil, can you make videos for a channel for Machinima? You know, you just go around with a camera and just, you know, say, you know, record your experience going around to E3. He was there at Machinima's request, essentially, invitation. So that's why Phil went to E3. He made a bunch of videos on it. They apparently really liked him, you know. I said, wow, Phil, you recorded so much stuff. I can't believe how much you recorded. Because Phil was, back then, big on spamming inboxes with as much content as possible, even if it was the most mundane stuff. But yeah, that's why it was E3. I just love how Phil even retconned that experience. They went to E3, he's like, why was I there? Because, you know, Machinima, your fucking, you know, your network, your partner, your network on YouTube at the time, wanted you to go. Prophet saying, remember the time Phil was at Liana's brother's wedding? Oh yeah, he sat in a hotel room and played Fallout to go to his event and to be part of the experience. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Must be saying that the must have been Liana missed her brother's wedding because Phil wanted to play Fallout 4. Although Phil tried to retcon this and claim that there was a threat against swatting the wedding, which is why I didn't want to go, or some pish with that. Which is completely unproven. I'd be good to ask Liana. If you're going to ask Liana any questions, it'd be good to find out if it actually was true or not that Liana's parents got swatted or whatever, because Phil tried to claim that Liana's own parents got swatted as well, because of Phil, essentially, because of the trolls. And Shinko just pointing out easily, you go and meet people who could help advance your career. Exactly, these kind of events is great for networking, especially if you're a fucking content creator.
None of this makes any sense. So, I'm well aware all these digital things are going on right now. Great. Do I care about them? Well, yeah. I want to hear about all the announcements coming out of them. I'd love to talk about them. Well, like I said, in just a few moments here, we'll talk about the Disney event and the things that I know came out of the event. So that's great. But, no, I'm not bending over backwards to cover them live. The live reacts I've done to these this year.
Yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Paul J. Brazel Jr. for a super chat who just yells at Shinko. Shinko Fleur is in my chat today, and people are losing their bloody minds because Shinko is the absolute god of reacting to Phil. Like, I mean, people think I get angry reacting to Phil. I do it without having to, like, he has to glaze up and he still gets mad. Keep in mind that whenever you hear Shinko go crazy, that's usually him half glazed. Imagine him if he was unglazed. He has to, he gets so much glaze in him just to endure Phil when he's at his absolute worst, you know. But yeah, it's good to have Shinko Fleur here tonight, you know. I always appreciate him being around when he can't make it and enjoying some bingo, but he's the glaze king. I mean, Glaze Gang is Glaze Gang. It's been a while since I've used the term, but Glaze Gang. Everyone who goes in a Shinko chat are all part of the Glaze Gang. And yeah, as Shinko says, you know, trying to endure Phil, it's like a goddamn brain melt. It's funny, I was on Friday, Give More Blood, had a stream where I was covering old DSP Tries It, and Phil mentioned glaze on a burger or something, you know. And immediately, everyone just, you know, just yelling Shinko. And he even Give My Blood is like, oh, if only Shinko was here, he's talking about glaze. So it's just one of those, it's quite fucking funny, but yeah. It's always good to have Shinko around.
Haven't been popular. All right. I'm just going to cover them like I would like to on my podcast and or answering questions live on streams. Okay? So there you go. It's that simple. I'm not going to waste any more time on the baloney because I wasted a lot of time on the baloney this year and I really feel like it didn't pan out. Now, on the flip side of that, some of the other reacts we've done this year were great. You know, like I said, to the documentaries, you know, me reacting to the Rob Gavigan channel was a good variety, and if we hit a members goal this month, we're actually going to do it again for Halloween, which would be really neat. You know, there's some good positives that have come out of all this stuff. So I don't want you to feel like the react stuff is all bad. It's not. In fact, the opposite.
You know, I'm counting that as food talk. He literally said bologna. Bologna is a type of food. I'm counting it. I don't care. I'm counting it.
I've really enjoyed doing a lot of react style content this year, but there's some things that I feel like is meaningful and I can add to, and there's other stuff that I can't. You see what
Of course, he actually just said meaningful. We just literally had a whole discussion. We had a poll to remove meaningful, whether we should keep it or not. We think meaningful is cursed, and as soon as we remove it from our rotation, Phil literally just said
this year. But there's some things that I feel like is meaningful, and I can't
I can't believe it, man. The word is cursed. Whenever we don't have it on a bingo card, he says the goddamn word. I swear that shit is cursed. He's going to say it every single day now for the next week or so because they've removed it from our rotation. I swear to hell. It's inevitable. I cannot, but does Phil cheat? Does he have our bingo card on his screen? Does he know what's happening? It is a cursed word. It really is.
Can add to, and there's other stuff that I can't. You see what I'm saying? So that's the deal. And no, I'm not reacting live to Ubisoft Forward, and I'm, you know, we'll just talk about it after the fact. Fair enough? Okay. So, let's get started, everyone. Here's the deal.
That is prayer hands, everyone. So that's an example of prayer hands. He brings his hands together and looks like he's praying to all the wee gods in the sky so he can get more fucking tips. It's been not a bad start, to be fair, you know. It's a decent wee start to a bingo card. We're getting there slowly but surely. Of course, that's what I'm saying. If Phil had said meaningful yesterday, we would have had a full 25 out of 25 and someone in chat would have won 25 quid. Him not saying meaningful yesterday denied us that victory, and of course he says it straight away today. It's unbelievable, man. I'm so annoyed. I'm really annoyed at Phil, man. It's typical.
You voted overnight. We
voted as another one straight away. We've got fucking another fucking thing to tick off. Voted overnight. So there I fucking go.
Had an option for today's stream. The question was, did you want to see more Splatoon 3 right away after yesterday's premiere stream, or did you want to see more Saints Row 1 endgame? Because now we're literally at the end of the game. I think there's 7 story-based missions left, but of course to do them we also have to grind a little bit to get the rep to do them. I'll be honest with you, I'm not shocked. People voted for Saints Row for 2 reasons. Number one, we're at the end of Saints Row, and I think people want to see it, you know, conclude so we can move on to other stuff. And also they want to see how it ends. You know, I've never seen Saints Row 1 ending. I don't even know what's coming up, okay? Number two, Splatoon 3 very much is Splatoon, meaning it really honestly doesn't feel like a new game. It doesn't. Are the graphics better than they were on the Wii U? Yes. Are there some new weapons? Yes.
No, I'm not going to let Phil get away with this bullshit, because can't you say the exact same thing about fighting games? You can say the exact same thing about a lot of these fighting games. I'm not trying to shit on fighting games in general, okay? If people enjoy them, fair enough. But the fact of the matter is, most fighting games, especially in modern day anyway, don't really seem to expand on the old format. You have a bunch of different moves, you try and beat your opponent with it, you know, and it's just a case of trying to make it look a bit better, but they play roughly the same way. It seems, you know, to me anyway, on the outside looking in, it looks like they'll kind of play roughly the same damn way. And it's just a case of how bad, like, the netcode is or whatever, or you know, how bad the lag might be in whatever. That's literally the only kind of determining factors of how much of an improvement there could be to the overall experience. But in terms of the gameplay, doesn't the gameplay stay roughly the same because there's always so many varieties of different kind of moves you can perform? I don't know, to me it's the same kind of thing, but Phil, being Phil, is just shitting all over Splatoon because it's maybe a kind of, I don't know, it's just Phil being Phil, predictably. And Trains reminded me he said new games. So I will tick that off right now. Thank you very much, Train.
Are there some new modes? There's one that I guess was from Splatoon 2 that I never played before in that Salmon Run Horde mode. But is it almost identical to the previous games? Yes. Does it blow you away and add so much new content that it really feels like a new installment that you absolutely must play? No. It's Splatoon again. They've sold you the same game now 3 times. You know what I mean? It's a little weird because at least with a game like Call of Duty, you can look at it and you can be like, okay, Call of Duty comes out every year. And so every year you expect the same thing from Call of Duty because it's literally the same game. They don't even have a year to develop the next one. So of course it's not going to be blowing you away. You know what I mean? This game had how many years in development since Splatoon 2? And it looks identical to me. Like, am I wrong?
Money,
Now, by the
money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much to Paul J. Bradley Jr. for Super Chat. It says, at Shinko, where are your rage rants? Bring those back, you have incentive. I can't speak for Shingo, and Shingo's here so he can answer for himself, but in my opinion, you can't force these things. I'm sure Shinko would also be doing things like more regularly if he was, you know, it could, but sometimes it's like real life circumstances at play. Maybe it's time, maybe it's just, you know, technical issues or whatever. Shinko is absolutely fantastic at dropping, you know, his wee rants, you know, well, a lot of us are very entertained by them. For me, when I'm like having, it's one of those things where like his stream started at midnight UK time, and it's like, should I go to bed, you know, like for work tomorrow? It's like, I actually want to try and stay awake and catch some of Shinko's kind of going crazy kind of rants. Well, I'll worry about sleeping another time, you know. It's like, who cares about work tomorrow? I want to try and see Shinko react to Phil being stupid because I know he's going to be fucking stupid, and I want to see him explode at Phil. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's like it's always good to catch a good Shinko rant, but you can't. It's one of those things where you can't force it either, you know. I don't know, but I'll let Shinko naturally speak for himself about that. But I feel kind of weird, like being like the conduit for Paul J. Brazel to try and get Shinko to answer questions. I mean, thank you very much, Paul J. Brazel, but I'm sure you can just at Shinko in the chat and he'll just like answer. Yeah, he'll be perfectly happy to answer you, I'm sure, if you just add him normally. So I do appreciate the contributions, pal. And this Shinko just responded there, I'm coming through, pimp. I just didn't find the last few streams worth covering. Also, I got some memes in the pipeline. That's something. Keep in mind, Shinko is doing other things as well, other than his own live streams. He's made a couple of these kind of his own parody videos on the YouTube snorts or whatever that Phil's been doing. Shinko, did you? It wasn't it the Burger King? I think Shinko made the one where I was like, I think that was Shinko's one where I was like, Phil was like doing a YouTube snort from a Burger King during a fight or something. That's fucking hilarious, man. But yeah, but it's one of those things as well. So, and Shinko as well, I know does some things as well. It's not just streams, you know. He's also quite creative and trying to make music and all that as well. Plus, he is playing a lot of multiverses, and he's main in Velma, and he's absolutely obsessed with main in Velma and all that stuff, you know. Velma's very distracting, to be fair. She is extremely distracting. I don't play multiverses because if I did, I'd probably be very distracted as well with Velma. That's just what I'm saying. But yeah. But it's one of those things as well. So I know Shinko's a busy boy. So it's like sometimes it's like this is something I don't make a lot of videos. Sometimes I used to make them almost every day because I had something to say every single day about Phil. But some days it's like you just hear him say the same shit and do the same shit, and so I just won't make a video because you can't force it sometimes. You know, even though Phil's quite triggering sometimes, it's a case of, you know, we're just kind of basically sometimes we're repeating ourselves. You know, so it's like I'm not going to make a video on that. It's just the same old shit. You know, but it's like you can't really force it sometimes. But when it happens naturally, it's the best. You know. And as Shinko's been saying, I haven't been really streaming because I got meme fever. I swear I'm coming with heat. So there we go. Shinko will be live streaming again very soon when he's got the flyer ready to go. Hey Kirby Souls, don't worry about being late, pal. I'm glad you're here.
The way I'm not complaining. I haven't played Splatoon since Splatoon 1. So actually playing Splatoon 3 is some good variety for my streams, and I feel like maybe playing this a couple times a week and doing the multiplayer, unlocking new clothing, unlocking new paint, guns and weapons and things like that would be pretty neat. But I played it for about 2.5 to 3 hours yesterday, and literally by the end of the stream, both myself and the audience were like, meh, it's Splatoon. Right? Okay, Anso Kamaru, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, Splatoon added more than Call of Duty ever did, and you praise Call of Duty as an amazing must-play. When did I do that? Last year when I skipped it? What are you talking about? How about you stop fanboying out about bullshit? What the fuck are you talking about? That literally hasn't happened. I was playing Call of Duty every year because it was the hottest first-person shooter. And every year I criticized it for being the same shit, boring, rehashed, not good, terrible online play. And then last year I skipped it. How about you stop fanboying out over bullshit? And you stop putting words in my mouth and saying shit that's not true. Because it's not just you. I've noticed there's been a bunch of people recently who leave comments and do shit on my videos. Oh, Phil just does this and Phil just does that.
Yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you once again to Paul J. Brazo Jr. who says, got to go, I miss his talks and our time together too. Pal, as I said, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like we're getting used to Shinko streaming like every day almost at times, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's a case of just like there's other things that some people have to work on. Sometimes it's just life gets in the way, you know. That's just that, you know. But yeah, I do appreciate your super chats, but I'm not saying like you could have just added Shinko in the chat. I'm sure he'd have answered you. He's talking normally in chat. You could have added him, but I certainly do appreciate the super chats all the same. But yeah, Shinko is bringing the heat very soon. He's confirmed it in chat. You know, he will be doing live streams again quite soon. Right now, he's kind of got the meme fever, as says, or as Phil says, the meme fever. I'm pretty sure Phil called him memes before because he's a fucking boomer, doesn't have a clue what he's fucking talking about. And yeah, Shinko's desperate to try and get Phil to fucking 1v1 him in fucking multiverses. Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, this is, by the way, this is I haven't been toxic as well. I'm going to rewind this a wee bit, just a little bit, because Phil has been extremely toxic to his audience right here. It's fucking worth seeing again, I think. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, the guy, he could just say to the guy he's wrong.
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much to somebody. It's not Paul J. Brazo for once super chatting. He had like the last 4 in a row to try and tell the Shinko. Right now we've got Logan K super chatting. Thank you very much, Logan K, for super chat. He says he loves to bully his audience. He wonders why memberships are dropping. Exactly. It's not, you can't fucking see. And Prophet pointed out earlier on in chat as well. He just said that it's not a good fucking look. You're attacking a member is a good well, it's a good look for Phil. It's not really a good look, you know. I'm pretty sure Prophet being sarcastic there, but yeah, just Phil being typical, you know, toxic Phil. Attacking a member for saying something that he deemed incorrect. Now, if somebody says something incorrect in chat, about me, I will just say, hey pal, you're wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not a situation, pal. I'm sorry, you're mistaken. I wouldn't fucking attack him and shit and just and then at the same time start attacking other people. I mean, for example, people kept trying to accuse me of tipping Phil because somebody used my name to tip in my Final Fantasy stream. All I can do is hold my hands up and say, it wasn't me. And at the same time, though, I can embrace the free publicity. But I'm not going to just fucking be toxic at people because they keep thinking it was me. All I can do is just deny because it's what the truth is. I was not tipping Phil. I was busy literally doing bingo. I didn't have time to fucking tip Phil. But no, shit, man. But that's what I'm saying. Some people actually believe that was fucking me because somebody used my fucking name. Tony's asking, did I catch yesterday when he mentioned he hopes that someone's kid would stare at a wall like a dent? Yeah, that's a kind of weird thing. So that was when he said that I hope my kid... So somebody said in chat, I hope my son doesn't turn up like you. Turn out like you.
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Well, I'm going to finish my point for Profit rudely interrupted with his super chat. So, yeah, somebody said in this chat yesterday, I hope my boy doesn't turn out like you. And Phil kind of was like quite talks about it, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I hope your fucking boy doesn't turn out like me either. I hope he just fucking stares into a fucking corner and just like, you know... It's very, very rude about it, you know, it's an extremely triggering thing. Profit super chat, thank you very much, Profit, for super chat. He says, bro, you did tip Phil. I did not tip Phil. I did not do it. It wasn't me. I am innocent. What do I need to do? Do I need to show my PayPal history? Do I need to show my PayPal history to show you guys I didn't tip Phil? It wasn't me. I promise you guys it wasn't me. I swear. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I can only just claim innocence, you know, believe what you want to believe, but at the end of the day, I got free advertisement on a Phil stream. A guy of almost 200k subs had my name plastered in his live stream for almost the entire video because somebody pretended to be me. That is some good free publicity that I can't technically buy it if I fucking wanted to, because if I was wanting to tip Phil, I would do that, but no, nobody should ever tip Phil, not even as a joke. It's not worth it. Too much money is given to Phil as Phil as troll tips. He gets far too much money just for troll tips. They all add up. That's my fucking taking it. But yeah, it wasn't me. Thank you, Prophet. Yeah, we dick. But as a super chat, it wasn't me.
What are you talking about? How about you stop fanboying out about bullshit? What the fuck are you talking about? That literally hasn't happened. I was playing Call of Duty every year because it was the hottest first-person shooter. And every year I criticized it for being the same shit, boring, rehashed, not good, terrible online play. And then last year I skipped it. How about you stop fanboying out over bullshit and you stop putting words in my mouth and saying shit that's not true? Because it's not just you. I've noticed there's been a bunch of people recently who leave comments and do shit on my videos. Oh, Phil just does this and Phil just does that. It doesn't even fucking happen. You're in your own world and your head's up your own fucking ass. Wake the fuck up. Call of Duty is not worth a new installment every year. I skipped it last year for that very reason.
That was like a low T-pose. He held that for a long time. This arms out waiting. It wasn't perfectly T. It was like, I cannot lift my arms because I'm a weak little boy. But he held it quite, you know, out there for a good bit. So, I'm taking it. Fuck it, I'm taking it. And yeah, people were saying like, Shinkle's trying to fucking make a joke. There's no way I could have tipped Phil. My PayPal isn't verified. King Jad probably. I think my PayPal is verified. I'm not sure. D-Dog saying I need to play Shaggy. It wasn't me. Guys, everyone remembers Shaggy as being part of that song, but nobody can remember the other bastard that done the song. It was a collab between Shaggy and someone else. Nobody can ever remember the name of the other guy who was involved in that song. Everyone knows the song. Everyone knows Shaggy was involved with it. Nobody can remember the name of the other person usually is in that fucking song. Actually, so only 10 snorts so far? Yes, only 10 so far.
Fucking happen. You're in your own world and your head's up your own fucking ass. Wake the fuck up. Call of Duty is not worth a new installment every year. I skipped it last year for that very reason. And as I said this year with Modern Warfare 2, I'm playing the beta, and if the beta's good, I'll get it. And if not, I'm skipping it again. Splatoon is not above criticism just because it doesn't have an annual installment. Splatoon 3 is literally Splatoon 1 with a few tweaks. It's the same fucking game.
You could say that about literally any fucking sequel to ever exist in a game. Isn't that the whole premise of, you know, games, especially sequels? Because, like, as you know, the first game went quite well, people seemed to enjoy the fucking game, and so they make a second game, and they made a few tweaks to it, whatever. And then people seemed to enjoy that as well. They took their time, made a third game, made some tweaks to it. They didn't try to get rid of the fun aspect of the first couple of games, but they tried to expand on it. So that's kind of generally how sequels work in video games. Yeah, it's basically like saying, you know, GTA 5 is like GTA 4, except with a few tweaks of a different city and different characters. It's like, it doesn't, Phil's arguments don't make sense. Look, basically, it should all boil down to whether a game's fun to play or not. Is Splatoon 3 a fun game to play? Is it an enjoyable experience? Yes or no? Do you get enjoyment from the gameplay? Is it a worthwhile game to play? Is it meaningful to you as a game? It's simple wee things like that. Never mind how similar it is to like previous games. It's a case of, I've got this game here, is this game worth playing? Yes or no? It should be as simple as that, surely. I don't know, that's just my take on it.
Wake up! Okay? Here's a really weird thing, because someone was telling me about this, and I looked into it, and it's completely true. In Japan, alright, listen to this. In Japan, they don't...
Prepare for racism.
Don't play any shooters that aren't made in Japan. Allow me to reiterate what I just said. In Japan, they play games made in Japan, and they almost always skip games not made in Japan. So that means they don't play Call of Duty, they don't play Halo, they don't play Battlefield, they don't play Doom, they don't play Apex Legends, they don't play Valorant. All those games don't exist to them. I'm serious. They ignore them all. But when Splatoon comes out in Japan, they freak the fuck out. Oh my god, everything's Splatoon. There's Splatoon advertisements all over the country. People are lining up to buy Splatoon. Splatoon 3 is the biggest game in their country this year. I'm not kidding. It's weird how different cultures are. It absolutely is. It's very odd. Because here, I've seen almost no hype whatsoever for Splatoon 3. People are like, yeah, it exists.
Did he just butcher a word there?
I've seen almost no hype whatsoever for Splatoon.
Yeah, he's butchered a word there. It's like, instead of saying 4, he's like, Splatoon 3.
Because
he tries to say, I've seen no hype for Splatoon 3, and he just butchers the fuck out of saying 4.
Here, I've seen almost no hype whatsoever for Splatoon 3.
What the fuck happened to his fucking dumbass mouth? Oh well, that's an easy tick.
People are like, yeah, it exists, we'll play it. But that's kind of the attitude is, okay, it's Splatoon, get it. Haven't had one in many years, this is cool. To have it returned, it's on Switch now, that's cool, right? And it's nice. But no one's freaking out about it. You know what I'm saying? Over in Japan, it's like the biggest thing. So I think what it might be is just kind of culture shock deal. And difference of opinion and difference of cultures. You know, in Japan, again, I hate to use the term xenophobic, but yeah, over there, if it's made in Japan, they're all over it. Why do you think there's so many anime-style JRPGs? There's a zillion of them a year. In Japan, these are insanely huge sellers. Outside of Japan, they do all right, but in Japan, it's like, this is all we buy, we play this nonstop. It's like, it's this culture-centric country where everything there is huge that they make, and then everything else, like, does not existing, you know? So it's hilarious to us, because we see Splatoon, we're like, okay, it's all right, I don't understand the hype around it, well, I'll play it seems all right, you know, it's passable, I'm having fun with it. And then in Japan, they're like, oh my god, squid squirting ink everywhere, freaking out.
Shut the fuck up!
Shut up, bitch!
For the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be talking and saying absolutely nothing.
Anyway, that being said, I really feel that's why people voted for Saints Row today. Because you saw Splatoon 3 yesterday, you're like, okay, it's kind of what I expected. It's not bad. It's good.
So, unsurprisingly, in my chat, I like going, what the fuck, Phil? You know, like, you know, it's like, you know, so, Review Top Paper USA was basically telling me, you know, tell him to shut up, which is why I played some of the soundboard stuff. I did nothing wrong, saying he's literally being xenophobic. Ailed Mutt is saying this is bollocks. I live in Japan, Valorant is pretty damn popular with older PC players. Splatoon is loved by kids pretty much, and other people are saying that, you know, they play Overwatch in Japan as well, which is, you know, a Western game, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's a Western game. There's a couple of ones. So, Silent Weapons 3. By the way, Silent Weapons 3 has some of the best fucking puns. It's like, I thought my pun game was strong, but his is fucking S tier. Japan versus Papan, he came out with. That was his first one. I'm pretty sure I've seen other people trying to compete with that. Where's the fucking other one I've seen? Where's the fucking other one I've seen? I've seen somebody else say a fucking cracker. I was like, Tokyo versus Porkio. I can't fucking find it. How the hell can I not fucking find it? Who said that? Damn it. Actually, maybe been fucking Silent Weapons again. I don't know. But yeah, Phil is being fucking Phil here. So, Dayglow Hour says Nintendo's one of the oldest gaming companies in the country. Japanese people take pride in their country and work. And Darcy the Phil says, that's a killer screen cap, by the way. This one, well, here you go, guys. Here, I'll go a full screen. I'll go full screen. You guys can take a screenshot if you want. It's on HD as far as I know. Yep, it's at the max settings. So this is Phil's max camera settings. Guys, if you want to fucking screenshot that shit, go for it. There you fucking go. Knock yourselves out. That could be siege mode, actually.
Good, actually, I enjoyed playing it yesterday.
No, it's not really. He's holding his arm, but it's not siege mode.
You're like, okay, it's kind of what I expected. It's not bad.
Yeah, he's just got his right hand on his left arm, but he's not really doing It's not a proper siege mode. It's like he's rubbing his arm. He's not folding. He's not crossing his arms. He's just rubbing his arm.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, I enjoyed playing it yesterday. I had a good time with it. But you play like, okay, it's Splatoon, it's Turf War, and there's going to be other modes unlocked once you level up. And there's this new Horde mode that was in Splatoon 2 that I guess it's new to me because I didn't play it. It wasn't in Splatoon 1. And oops, they limit it to certain maps. You can only play certain maps at certain times a day. Again, for the third time in a row. They haven't figured out that basically this whole situation is stupid. Just make all the maps available. Make it so.
Very good point there by Wetwork, and it's something I've kind of brought up a couple of times myself in the past when I look at Phil playing these fucking old games. There's 36,000 people right now on Twitch watching Splatoon 3, and I bet when I fucking try and search for, fucking Saints Row, you'll barely get any. In fact, I'm going to do that finding 2 seconds while I fucking search for fucking. Well, I'm going to fucking pause because when you go to fucking. No, I don't want that fucking shit. Saints Row. Let me search for Saints Row. 2006. Here we go. Let me just bring this shit over here. Here we go, guys. Saints Row has currently got 2 viewers. There's 2 different streams. There's 1 viewer in each stream. Saints Row from 2006 currently has this going for it. Now, Splatoon 3, just to confirm what Wetwork said, 36.1 thousand viewers. Phil was playing a game at literally 2 people are watching on Twitch instead of 36,000 people. He is the master of self-sabotage. He really does it to himself here. Shout out to Almighty Frogger, by the way, who streams on Twitch now. I don't like Twitch personally, but that's just me. Oh, I forgot to close the fucking card generator. There you go.
Anyone can play any map. We don't want limited time rotation because your game has limited content. They don't do that. No, we beat to the tune, or we march to the tune of our own drum. We do things differently because we're Nintendo. Limit the player to only playing 2 maps every 2 hours. Tell me what fucking logic that makes. There's no logic there besides you're an asshole. You're a stingy asshole, and you don't want people to play your fucking game and get bored of it too quick, so you limit the amount of maps they can play. That's dickhead. That's really a dickhead move. It's, oh, you bought the game, but I'm stingy with how much of the game you can fucking play. Fuck off. Unlock the fucking game and let me play it, you fucking dickheads. Anyway, so I'm not surprised you guys voted for Saints Row today. So that's what we're playing today. What we'll do is we'll go through the schedule now, so you guys kind of know what to expect. And I'll be honest with you. All right, I've liked Saints Row 1. I've liked playing it. I understand now kind of where the Saints Row games came from. It definitely, this first one was very much like GTA, okay? But I'm actually kind of hoping we beat it today. And here's why. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm kind of tired of it. And it's funny because if you take a look at how long I've been playing it, how many hours I sunk into it, I think we're around 15. Actually, we just hit the 17-hour mark, okay? I'm kind of bored of it. And here's why. It's kind of the same formula over and over. The game absolutely makes you grind in the side missions way too much. Especially because they don't change. It's not like the side missions are changing. It's the same missions, just different parts of the map. They're kind of boring. And there's not much to it in that regard, but it makes you do it to do the story. And it's kind of boring in that regard. I didn't like grinding in any of these sandbox games over the years. San Andreas makes you do it at the end, right? You got to take over the whole map or whatever, or at least certain segments. Remember Mafia 3? How the entire game could have been 15 hours and it would have been an amazing game, but they made you grind for 25 hours to do that 15 hours of content, making the game awful. That's kind of how I feel this game is. Not to say that this stuff's awful, but it pads the shit out of itself. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm actually kind of hoping we finish Saints Row today so that we can see the end and move on to other stuff. The other thing is, the next game I'm playing, as I told you guys, is a game that I have a cult following. People have been waiting for me to play this all summer, and finally it's going to happen. Earthbound.
Somebody could really exploit him saying...
We can see the end and move on to other stuff. The other thing is, the next game I'm playing, as I told you guys, is a game that I have a cult following.
Just him saying, I have a cult following, could easily be used, you know, maliciously by detractors. I'm just saying, if people wanted to, like, you know, take out just him saying that and misuse that, I have a cult following. Phil admitting he has a cult following. I'm just pointing that out there, that's all. Just, you know, people can have fun with that if they want. I have a cult following.
Move on to other stuff. The other thing is, the next game I'm playing, as I told you guys, is a game that
Wait for it.
I have a cult following.
There you go. He has a cult following, confirmed.
People have been waiting for me to play this all summer, and finally it's going to happen. Earthbound. I really want to play Earthbound at this point. I've been waiting too long. It's a game from my childhood that I loved playing. I only played it once for YouTube 9 years ago. It was just when I had adopted direct capture. There was no interactive live streaming to speak of at all. No face cam, nothing of that. People told me when I played it the first time it was boring because it was basically just me talking to myself playing it. This time around, having an interactive audience that's going to contribute and add to the lore and add to...
To contribute. They will contribute to the live audience. They'll contribute. Now, I wonder what he means by... Of course, be honest, we know what he fucking means by that.
The gameplay elements and have meaningful conversation. I'm really having a...
This motherfucker just said meaningful again. He is triggering me too much today. He literally just said it again. He said it again. He said meaningful again. I want to hit him. I want to hit him in his stupid little face. Look at his fucking little stupid face right now. It looks like he has been hitting his fucking little dumbass face right now. Like, did something hit me? Did I just get hit by somebody? My reactions are really fucking slow these days. I don't know if I've just been hit in the face or not. Arse. Hole.
A great time looking forward to this game. Like, I can't wait to start playing it as soon as possible. Okay? And by the way, don't worry, it's not like Earthbound's the only thing I'm playing. It's going to be Earthbound and Splatoon, then the Modern Warfare beta is going to come out, then we're likely going to do another game in there. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be variety. But I can't wait to play Earthbound. Really, I'm really dying to do it. Okay? So, the sooner we beat Saints Row, the quicker I can get to Earthbound. I can even start Earthbound on Monday if we beat Saints Row today. Alright? So let's see how it goes. But again, there's no guarantees. With the grindiness of the side content to get those levels needed to do the story, it could end up taking over an hour to just do the side shit, and then we don't get through all the story missions because there's only like 2 hours left of gameplay. You see what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. Alright? Let's see what happens and we'll go from there. And by the way, I already see people in the stream chat, oh, Earthbound's not going to do good for viewership. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Final Fantasy VII didn't do good for viewership. And look what happened. It ended up being one of the best playthroughs I've done in years. People absolutely loved it who were here and supported it. I don't care if we lose 100 viewers per show.
It doesn't matter how many fucking people view, as long as they fucking tip. Yeah, that's basically a translation for that shit. He had one stream that didn't fucking do well, and they threatened to relegate it to a night stream. The metrics don't fucking matter to Phil. I made a video on this before, pointing this out. He had one very slow fucking stream for support, one very decently sized stream for support in terms of contributions. He called it engagement, but he had the same number of viewers in both streams and he had the same number of likes on both videos as well at that point in time. The only difference was the tips, and Phil called one stream slow and one stream busy. Well, it's literally the same audience members in the fucking, you know, it's like 400 odd in each fucking stream. So the same number of people there, same levels of communication in the chat, the same kind of, you know, it wasn't a slow chat either. They were all talking normally on both chats. The only difference was the amount of tips he had at that certain point in time across both streams, and he called one stream, at least for that day entirely, slow. It literally all boils down to how much money he gets in tips from these games. That's literally it. We all know this by now.
Stream because I'm playing a JRPG that's a classic near and dear to my heart, and people only want to see stupid action-based gameplay constantly. All right, you'll get that, trust me. We're gonna have a whole fall full of new releases. Next month, there's an incredible amount of new releases coming out between October and then November. And even now, December is stacking up to be a loaded month because all the games that got delayed. We're going to have 3 crazy months of nonstop new shit. We can play Earthbound now and enjoy it. And if you don't like it, you can come back when the new shit starts. I don't want to hear people bitching because I'm playing a JRPG. Grow the fuck up. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to fucking pause at that fucking point, but there you go. Jesus Christ, man. As Prophet just, that's the same Prophet just literally said it in my chat there. His audience, his viewers are saying they don't want to play Earthbound. And then he's saying he doesn't give a fuck. And then he's wondering why his memberships have been dropping so much. Why nobody renewed the memberships. The way he treats his audience, especially the ones that actually give him money, he treats them like fucking shit. He really does. No wonder people didn't want to renew their goddamn memberships. Why would they? Look how much look how badly he treats them. Phil, Silent Weapons makes a great point there. Phil just insulted Japan for its JRPGs literally about 5 minutes ago. And now he's bigging it up and all that shit. I'm playing a JRPG, guys, and I really want to play it. It reminds me of a childhood. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to do it again. If people want a screenshot of this, knock yourselves out. So there we go.
Okay. All right. All right. So, let's talk schedule. Today.
No. I'm just going to fucking go 1.25 speed, man. It's long overdue, but we need to speed up. We are almost 30 minutes behind. How did that happen?
Saints Row 1 on the first stream. Maybe we'll beat it, maybe we won't. We'll see how far I can get. But if I beat it, great. Tonight, something new. Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's supposed to be Disney's answer to Animal Crossing. All right? It's on preview right now. Early game access. If you're part of Game Pass or if you buy the deluxe pack, why would you buy it? You haven't played it yet. I don't understand that. But we're going to check it out tonight. I'm curious to see how it turns out. If it ends up being something that we want to put into the rotation as a chill late night stream once or twice a week, or if we do it a couple times, we're like, yeah, it's Animal Crossing with Disney. It's not that interesting. I don't know. We'll see. It might be fascinating. You know, we'll find out tonight when I try it out on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Tomorrow, it will be more Splatoon 3. And we'll likely jump right into multiplayer. I got to level up in order to see all the gameplay of the game. I think there was ranked, right? And you can't even do ranked yet until you get to a certain level. So we'll focus in on that and more unlocks and the like. So it'll be Splatoon 3 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Bites, my weekly Bassmaster Fishing stream. One of my favorite streams of the week. It's very chill. We have a lot of open conversation and interaction. I catch fish. That's really entertaining when I get a big one. And we have a 2-week streak of hitting the $100 tips goal and seeing the fisherman's hat and adding a new lure to it. We have a bunch of big lures to add to the hat. It'll be great.
I don't think you can call it a streak if it's just fucking 2. I mean, it happens twice in a row. You don't usually come wait until you're at 5 or something before you call it a fucking streak. I mean, bloody hell, man, he's desperately trying to recreate the vest streak, and it's absolutely pathetic. Nobody fucking really cares. He is trying to make this a far bigger deal than it actually fucking is.
Great to hit that tomorrow and add another lure to the hat, okay? That'd be awesome. The hat. We have a tips goal and seeing the fisherman's hat and adding a new lure to it. We have a bunch of big lures to add to the hat. It would be great to hit that.
Would be great. He actually said would be great. I nearly missed that, but I said would be great. I nearly missed that.
Tomorrow and add another lure to the hat, okay? That'd be awesome. So then Monday, it's up in the air. Maybe more Saints Row 3, and if we don't, Saints Row 3. Maybe more Saints Row 1, and if we don't finish it today, it'll definitely be the conclusion of Saints Row on Monday's stream. But if we've beaten Saints Row today, then Monday will be Earthbound's premiere, okay? So it all depends on how Saints Row goes today. We'll determine what we play Monday. Monday night, Multiverses. Finally, I get to play with Gizmo, who came out Thursday. I'm finally getting around to it, all right? Now, there's been a development in Multiverses that has been completely unexpected by the game devs. I guess what happened is with the Gizmo update, they loaded in a new song. That's the Rick and Morty theme song, or a song from the Rick and Morty television show. And for some reason, listen to this, people who are playing the game and recording their matches, if that Rick and Morty song plays, the videos are getting completely blocked on YouTube. Not just, content ID claims, which I'm sure no one really cares about. Blocked. No one can watch it. Not a copyright strike, though. So at least it's not that bad. But still, You want your video to be freaking viewed, right? That's stupid. So they already contacted that game dev who's in charge of the game, and he already said, "Oh man, this was completely unintended. WB, Warner Brothers is already contacting YouTube. Problem is YouTube has weekends off, so they probably won't be able to get in contact with them till Monday. And then on Monday, hopefully they can clear this up because this was not intended. Because in the meantime, we recommend if you're going to play multiverses to turn on the streamer-friendly mode in the options, which will disable the music that may be claimed and will disable the Rick and Morty song. So sadly, I might have to disable music on Monday unless YouTube has fixed the problem. Because obviously I want to play it. I don't want the whole stream to get blocked. It might. My stream might get blocked mid-stream if it plays the Rick and Morty song. That's stupid. It's so dumb. The same thing happened with me playing the Grand Theft Auto collection last year and early this year. Certain songs get fucking blocked. Like, what is this nonsense? We're in 2022, man. Grow the fuck up. So I'll see what we can do there about that, and hopefully it won't be a big deal, because I definitely want to check out Gizmo Monday night in Multiverses, okay? Now, Tuesday is my last streaming day of the week. Yeah, I know it's a short streaming week, and that'll be up in the air. It could be more Splatoon 3, or it could be Earthbound. I might do a poll to determine what you guys want to see more, all right? And then, again, Tuesday night, up in the air. It could be more Multiverses, so I do 2 nights of Multiverses in a row, or I could do more Disney Dreamlight Valley, depending on how much you guys liked it tonight. So let's see what happens, all right? Let's play it by ear, and we'll see what happens over the course of the week. Now, taking a look at the release schedule for the rest of the month, all right? Let's go through this. So, the next big thing for me, and by the way, I'm well aware there's other games coming out this month. I'm just honestly not too interested in a lot of them. Like the Hellsinger game, don't really care. Return to Monkey Island, I don't really care. I'm just being honest, they're not really big things for me or things that I'm very interested in. All right, for me, the next major thing going on, Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to have its open beta on PlayStation 5 on September 18th. So that would be a week from tomorrow, okay? That's a weird day to start an open beta, but that's what they're doing. Now, in the meantime, there's supposed to be a limited group of people who are invited to this beta, and they're going to get codes to do it early. Sometimes my viewers reach out to me and say, "Hey, Phil, I got an extra code. Would you like to do it?" And sometimes that doesn't happen. If I end up getting a code this week, then I will definitely play the Modern Warfare 2 beta a little early. But if I don't get a code, then I'm going to jump into the open beta like everyone else on September 18th, okay? Then a few days later, there's Shovel Knight Dig, which I guess is a new Shovel Knight game coming out September 23rd. Yes, I'd be interested in playing that, okay? And then on September 24th, it's the other version of the Modern Warfare 2 beta. This is going to be on the Xbox Series S and X, so that's the 24th. So I'd be trying that out too. Why? I want to directly compare my experience with it from PlayStation 5 and Xbox and see which is a better experience. Does it run better on one console or the other? Are the controls significantly different using an Xbox controller versus a PS5 controller? Which feels better for Call of Duty, okay? So, I will let you know, obviously, what I think when these come out, and depending on my experiences with, these betas, that will determine if I get the game this year and what version I get, okay? Fair enough. So that basically, for the rest of this month, we're going to have the conclusion of Saints Row, Splatoon 3, Earthbound, the 2 Modern Warfare 2 betas, Shovel Knight Dig. Now, will we have more? Possibly. We may have time to do more stuff during the month as well. I'm not sure. But that's a lot to tackle over the course of the rest of this month. Okay? But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Keep in mind, there's other stuff going on this month as well. Ask the King is coming up in a couple of weeks. In fact, I've tentatively scheduled it for September 22nd. That's a Thursday. It's a little under 2 weeks from now. So that will roughly be when it will be. Remember, with Ask the King, this is my dedicated Q&A show where you ask questions and I answer them live. And the best way to get your question answered is to post up the question on my forums on dspgaming.com. So if you haven't yet, please do. A shortcut to do that will be to type !! Ask the King into the stream chat. It'll bring up a link. You click right on it, takes you right to the thread, and then you can post up your questions, okay? By the way, if you're a channel member, you will get giant priority to post up your questions starting next week when I'll do a special thread just for channel members on DSP Gaming's community tab, okay? So that's coming up. Ask the King will be a thing. And if we hit the members goal, which, by the way, holy crap, look at the headway we made. We're only 23 members away from hitting the goal. If we hit this members goal, all right, by the 16th of September, so 6 more days left to hit it, we will be doing another special event at the end of this month, a special React weekend event. I'll be reacting to either one of the documentaries from Frederick Knudsen or June the King. We'll talk about it. We'll have options. You guys will vote. We'll determine which one you want me to react to. And it's going to be a special weekend event that we're going to do. And I'm going to do my very next over-the-top rope 30-man fantasy battle royal match in WWE 2K22. Right? So it'll be a cool special event. Now, we're so close, guys. Right? We only have 6 days left to hit it, and I'm not here Tuesday. So let's do the math. We got today. We got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's the 13th. The 14th I'm off, which is Wednesday. So basically, we have till this Friday, okay, to hit it. if you're not a member, what in the holy hell are you waiting for? Seriously. All these benefits you get. A cool chat crown badge, access to all my emotes, highlighted name both in stream chat and in the video comments, okay? Priority access to all these special events. For example, priority access to Ask the King to get your question answered, priority to nominate and vote on games for the Halloween event coming up. There's all these options and all these awesome, benefits to being a channel member. Or, if you support the channel, consider gifting some memberships to your fellow viewer. The gifted memberships are working fully again. People have really been enjoying them, and we're only 23 away from hitting the tier 1 goal. All right? Let's hit it by the 16th. Let's get the special reward locked in for hitting it early. All right? Awesome. So not only do we have the conclusion of Saints Row 3, boy, let's try this again. The conclusion of Saints Row 1, Splatoon 3, Earthbound, the Modern Warfare 2 betas, Shovel Knight Dig, and maybe one or two other things wedged in, but we've also got Ask the King and possibly a special React event at the end of the month. So this month is now stacking up to be pretty good. Even though there's almost no major new releases yet again, it looks like we're stacking up to have a really great and good variety for the rest of this month. Okay? All right. Now, I already talked about the memberships. I don't have to do it again. I'm glad I got that out of the way. Let's talk just a little bit about this Disney event, shall we? Jackie, it's next week. Next week I'm taking the night off. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it next week. This week I'm doing all my streams. Okay. So, this Disney event, which would they call it? The D23 or something stupid like that? How about you call it the Disney and Marvel Games event? No, it's the D23 Digital Press event. No, it's not. Okay. So, first of all, no exaggeration, half the event was mobile games or updates to existing mobile games. Okay? How many of you care about those mobile games? Raise your hand right now. You're very...
I mean, Phil obviously cares about fucking mobile games. He's got his hand raised. In fact, I think he may have been playing one while I was pretending to check in news for all the game releases. Hands up, who cares about mobile games? Phil's hand was a first in the air. He beat everyone to that punch. I've never seen Phil's hand move so fast in the air in my life.
Excited for any of these upcoming Disney and Marvel mobile games? Raise your hand. Okay. So for those of you with your hands up, I can't see you. I don't know why you do that. Every time I say it, I can't see you through the internet.
Phil clearly cares because he had his hand up. Conroy's saying that was a camera point. Was that a camera point this time?
Oh, it's not. Okay. So, first of all, no exaggeration, half the event was mobile games or updates to existing mobile games. Okay? How many of you...
Okay, that was a camera point. That was a very quick camera point, but good spot, Conroy, and Wetwork. And anyone else is saw the camera point. That is definitely a camera point. Now that's a camera point. So before he pointed down the way, that was him pointing at the text, which is a different thing. We actually have different things on the card on the full list. So there's a text point, him pointing at text, and we have a camera point where he points directly into the camera. And that was a camera point, so we can tick that off. We are very close to multiple bingos. We're doing very well, but we just haven't got an actual bingo yet, which is bizarre. Usually we've got one by now. But it's just the way the order is, it's just the way that they're working out. But we're very, very close though, we're very close. Prophet saying you've never seen Phil's hand move so fast. The incident, well, thank you for reminding me of that, Prophet. You didn't need to, but thank you.
Care about those mobile games? Raise your hand right now. You're very excited for any of the hands up? Great, good for you. But I honestly kind of wish that they would separate these kind of events and say we have a whole mobile gaming event, tune in if you're interested. Because I hate to say it, what they don't realize is that mobile gaming and...
We have a bingo, we just hate to say. We have our first bingo of the day. Fucking Yaldi. Diggle Hour saying again an outsider shitting on a community that do things their way, i.e. calling it D23. DSP is a contrarian cunt. Yeah, exactly. It's just bizarre how fucking Phil's trying to tell everyone else how to run their own shit, when he's got nothing to fucking do with it and clearly has no fucking interest in it either. But if Phil doesn't care about his shit, then why talk about it? He's covered it because his fans asked him to, kinda, but he clearly has no fucking interest in it. Feature Length is asking how did a meaningful poll go? We have removed meaningful from the list, but 61% of people wanted meaningful to get removed from the rotation, so we removed it from the list, and naturally Phil has said it at least twice today. So there you go.
And hardcore gaming are different. People who are into games and consider themselves gamers, alright, essentially are people who will play lengthy games that they'll buy outright. They want a good story, they want gripping gameplay, they want great graphics. They're not looking to pick up their phone and do this. And by the way, there's nothing but doing this. That's fine if you want to do it. I've done it too. Over the years, I've played different mobile games that I've enjoyed, but it's a different audience, it's a different situation. It really is. okay? So for me, I'm like, listen, do your own event and separate it. Seriously, then people who are interested in that will tune in. When you say we're doing a Marvel and Disney digital event for games, and all the people are tuning in to find out all about your full-fledged, giant, in-development, AAA style games, and half your presentation is mobile games, what happens is everyone's pissed, they tune out, and people who are interested in mobile games aren't watching your event anyway. You've wasted your fucking time. I say this for E3 and those level of presentations too. Anyone who does this is a jackass. You're wasting everyone's time, including yourself. You're wasting your own money advertising those games. No one is going to watch that event for the mobile game and then buy the mobile game or sink any money into it. You're an idiot. Okay, it's a different audience. It's just like when they advertise Just Dance at E3. No one's watching E3 for Just Dance, people dancing on the stage. You're a jackass, you're a moron, you don't understand marketing, and you should have a different job, quite frankly. So, by all means, develop mobile games, advertise mobile games, keep it away from the other games. They're not the same. Just because they're video games doesn't mean they're the same type. It's bullshit, okay? It's like saying a comic book is the same as the Mona Lisa. It's not. They're both fine, but they're not the same. Okay. Sorry, I'm ranting and raving today on my podcast. I hope you're enjoying. So, out of all the things that they did announce, okay, here's the deal. Number one, there's a new game coming out. It's being developed by the people who made the original Uncharted. That's right, Amy Hennig, who was the original person in charge of Uncharted at Naughty Dog, and also was a huge hand in the development and writing of Last of Us 1, but then she left the company, so now everyone pretends like it was all Neil Druckmann, when in reality it was probably her who was really in charge of the project and made that project shine, which really tells when you look at Last of Us 2 and you see how poor Last of Us 2 in comparison to Last of Us 1 is, and then you realize that Neil Druckmann actually isn't the savior of gaming that people pretend he is. But I digress. Amy Hennig and her studio are making a game for Disney Marvel, and it's going to star World War II era Captain America. So this is not the seasoned Captain America of the modern day. This is the original Captain America, just freshly made a super soldier to fight the Nazis in World War II. This character will be teaming up with an older version of Black Panther. Apparently he's supposed to be like the current Black Panther's grandfather. But in addition, there'll be one of the Howling Commandos teaming up with them. Do you know who the Howling Commandos are? You probably don't. In Marvel Comics, back in the day when they were writing World War II era stories, the Howling Commandos were a group of not superpowered soldiers at all, but normal commandos working for the United States, and I believe there are actually some international influence in it too. But basically, it's supposed to be like a super team of military guys trying to stop the Nazis. But they're normal people, they're just badasses. You ever seen the Tarantino movie? God, why can't I remember the name of it now? Oh, Inglourious Bastards. It's kind of like the predecessor to that. Of course, it's not gory and shit like that. That's kind of how they are, like a super team of specialized military heading out to do special missions and take out Nazis. That's who the Howling Commandos are. So apparently one of the Howling Commandos is going to be in the game. And then I guess there's supposed to be another member of, you know, the civilization that Black Panther's from. That'll be joining them as well. So it's a 4-player game, or 4-character game. But from what Amy Hennig is saying, it's going to be very, very story-based. It's going to be interesting because it's going to kind of be like the same formula as Uncharted, only with Marvel characters in it. It's intriguing, because how could you do Uncharted with superpowers? I don't know. I'm going to scratch my head about that one a little bit. So they didn't have any gameplay to show, but basically saying that it's in development, and they're doing a good job with it, and they're excited for this project, and they want to announce it for the first time. It doesn't even have a formal name yet.
I'm not sure whether to call this siege mode or not. It's not technically folding his arms. He's like scratching both of them at the same time. I want you guys, I mean, as I'm saying, I had a feeling people would be suggesting it's a siege mode. It's like, it's kind of almost there, but it's not really folding his arms. He's literally just like scratching them.
A little bit. So they didn't have any gameplay to show, but basically saying that it's in development.
It's like scratching his elbows, both of them at the same time. It's not really folding his arms in siege mode, in my opinion.
And they're doing a good job with it, and they're excited for this project, and they want to announce it for the first time. It doesn't even have a formal name yet.
See, that's not him. That's not him really, folding his arms in siege mode. That's him just basically scratching his bloody elbows randomly.
It definitely seems interesting. All right.
Yeah, Dayglow Hour saying it's like little kid siege mode. It's fucking weird, whatever it is. Well said, way at work. Prophet says Uncharted with superpowers. So you mean Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy? Exactly. Yeah.
All right. At least it's something different with the Marvel formula. And quite frankly, this is the chance for Amy and her team, all right, to actually make a game that's going to be outstanding outside of the realm of Naughty Dog. They could literally show that they were the reason why the early Uncharted games and Last of Us 1 shined, and why Naughty Dog is what it is today. If they blow this one out of the park, they could show that they were the actual talent, all right? So I really hope that they do a good job with this game. I'm actually rooting for them. But
this feels like selfish motivations on Bill's part. It should be written for a game to be good just because he wants to play a good game. He is literally hoping this game is a success purely so he can try and somehow have bragging rights over Neil Druckmann. This strange personal vendetta he's got against Neil Druckmann. I like how Neil Druckmann probably isn't aware that Phil exists, and yet for Phil it's like his eternal rival. This is like his nemesis. He's moved on from Keemstar and RTU, and Neil Druckmann is like the eternal kind of rival for Phil, is like nemesis coming back. And Neil Druckmann's like, who the fuck's this guy? Why is this guy talking about me so much? I didn't even know this guy fucking existed. And apparently he's got a real hate boner for me. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. Oh my god, I mean, Phil's determined to try and make Neil Druckmann as like, as like public enemy number one. I don't care about Neil Druckmann personally, but Phil seems to really have it in his mind that he is like, people seem to worship him. No, I'm pretty sure people don't fucking worship Neil Druckmann or fucking care massively about him. If he makes a good game, fair enough. If he doesn't, then fucking who cares?
Sadly, I hate to say it, there's not necessarily a good track record for this kind of thing. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times, with this kind of stuff, you have this, okay, we're doing our first game solo without all the backing and everything that we had when we were at Naughty Dog, and sometimes it just doesn't turn out as well, or it doesn't turn out the way you intend. So I hope that's not the case. I really want the game to be good, but I guess we'll see what happens, right? Okay, so that's number one. There's an update in regards to Midnight Suns, and I kind of scratched my head about this, all right? So, first of all, Midnight Suns was supposed to come out in early October, all right? And this was the game that was supposed to be the Dark Marvel game. For those who don't know, Midnight Suns are supposed to be a group of, like, supernatural characters in the Marvel Universe. Think Ghost Rider, who's a ghost. Morbius, who's a vampire. Don't think about the movie. In the Marvel Comics, he's an okay character. He's not shit like the movie. He's actually a decent character. Pretend like the movie doesn't exist. Don't think of Jared Leto when you think of Morbius. That's actually doing a massive disservice to the character because Jared Leto sucks. Who else is in Midnight Suns? Is it Daredevil? I think Daredevil and Wolverine has been in it. There's been a group of people who've been in this from time to time, okay? And it's a good rotating group, but it's darker. And what I mean by that is it's meant to be like macabre, horror-themed gore. That's how these comics have always been, the Midnight Suns. Oh, Blade. Isn't Blade part of them too? I think Blade is part of the Midnight Suns. Right, the vampire/vampire hunter. So, when this game was announced, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It's a different take on the Marvel Universe. It's not the stupid, happy, smiley Avengers. Instead, it's going to be a darker horror take. That's cool. And then they started announcing that, oh, it's going to be like turn-based strategy. I'm like, oh, like XCOM? That's unique. We haven't seen a Marvel game like that before, so maybe it'll turn out all right. I don't know. It'll be something different. Then they delayed the game from October indefinitely, and no one knew when it was coming out. And it's kind of like, ah, shit, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's still good. So now they've announced two critical things. Number one, the game will be coming out December 2nd. So actually, that's not so bad of a delay at all. And in fact, with the amount of games coming out in October already, probably wouldn't hurt it to delay it a couple of months and have it come out in December and get a little bit more of a highlight. Okay? But then they started showing gameplay that's using a card system. And this, I don't understand. A card system. So is it a board game? Is it supposed to be like D&D? Like I start scratching my head. Like, or is it Magic the Gathering? I'm confused. The card system threw me for a loop. Because up to this point, I really thought it was going to be Marvel XCOM, which I was okay with. But with a card system in play, so now you're limited to what's in your deck and what you draw. It's like, huh? Isn't that kind of luck-based? You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't it kind of a luck-based system then where, what if you're fighting enemies but you keep getting bad draws, now you can't do what you need to do to win? So what do? Just keep fucking replaying it a million times so you get the right draw? It's confusing to me. So honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it now. I'd like to look more into it. I'm sure they're going to have more information as we get closer to the release of the game, in about 2.5 months.
That does it. I'm going 1.5 speed, man. He is boring the crap out of everyone.
But it makes me scratch my head. I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. Will Midnight Suns be better than Avengers? If it's better than Avengers, hopefully it'll sell. Avengers didn't sell. It would suck. Launch, it flopped. Get to make it a free-to-play game. To get people to even play it. I would like the game to do well, but it just seems like an anomaly to me now. Like at first, oh, a darker Marvel game, that's cool. You're like, oh, it's going to be X.
It said like, I'm counting it. That's a bingo. Remember, I kind of changed it. I'm not, if it says likes at all, like or whatever, or that counts as it, because it used to be about just YouTube likes, but I stopped mentioning that for a while, so I just opened it up to just him saying like, or liking, or likes in general, so. That's a goddamn bingo.
Well, it's different. That's not what I was expecting, but at least that's cool. Wait, it's a card-based game? Now, wait, what? I'm really confused now. So, again, I'm hoping for more concrete info. But I guess we'll find out. December 2nd, okay? Now, here's the thing. I know there were many different, like, little updates on titles and things, but what everyone wanted was an update on Spider-Man or an update on Wolverine. What we didn't get was an update on Spider-Man or an update on Wolverine. They acted like the games didn't exist. So everyone just sat there for this presentation and were pissed off. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what the hell is this bullshit? Well, give us the games we're here tuning in for. And that's what I mean. Let's do an event. We're actually going to have journalists fly into the event like it's some big deal, and there's literally no big deal announcements in the event at all, and the games you're there to cover aren't there. So what the fuck did I go for, right? I would be pissy. If I were a fucking journalist and I flew in to cover that, I'd be pissed off. Like, you wasted my time and money. Anyway, does anyone else here? I'm going to open this up to the viewing audience. We have almost 300 people so far today. Did you guys see anything during that Disney event that you thought was a highlight and you'd like me to talk about? Because I'm just kind of highlighting what I saw, and I didn't really see much of interest. You know what I'm saying? It seemed to me like it was almost a non-event. So, what did you guys think of the event? Is there anything I missed that you think I should talk about? I heard it was underwhelming. I didn't even know it existed. Nope. I didn't bother seeing it. Oh. Nope. Nope. You literally covered all the good stuff in it. Nope. I didn't even bother watching it. Okay. Disney Illusion Island looked like it's taking after Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends in terms of platforming gameplay. It's a Disney platformer. Okay, that's interesting. Kagome says they're remastering the Gargoyles game that came out on the Genesis in the 90s. Okay, somewhat that could be interesting. Non-event was the right word to describe it. There's a solo Scarlet Witch movie, a Werewolf by Night movie, and an African-American Little Mermaid movie. Okay. Great. I don't really care that it's African-American Little Mermaid, by the way. It just, to me, it doesn't matter. It's just like, I don't care that they're making a live-action Little Mermaid to begin with. Why are they doing that? Did you see the live-action Pinocchio? I didn't watch it, but I saw the stuff. I was like, oh my god. Tom Hanks trying to pretend like he has an accent. Starlight and the star bright, the first star that I see at night. Oh. Can Tom Hanks go back and do a sequel to The Burbs, where he's an old crotchety man, he's pissed off because there's no more young weirdos moving into his neighborhood? Can we go back to that Tom Hanks at this point? Jesus Christ. Anyway. So, I would love that. The Burbs 2, Tom Hanks is Clint Eastwood with a shotgun on his front lawn, and the kids are trying to play, and she's like, get off my fucking lawn. Now we're talking. Sign me up. I'll write movies for Hollywood, and you'll bank, man. No one wants to see this stupid Pinocchio shit. Anyway.
The seen Phil try and write something entertaining. It was called Project 7, and it was kind of shite. It was pretty pishy. The only reason, one of the reasons why it didn't last longer than it did was because you didn't fucking pay the guys that were editing and filming the whole thing. But one of the other big fundamental reasons is because it was a piece of shit show. Look what Rambo was able to do without the shackles of Phil Burnell in his life. He was able to actually be a part of an award-winning short film. John Rambo won an award for a short film in New York, earlier on this year, I think. So fucking well done to John Rambo for that shit.
So I guess the Disney event was a non-event. By the way, people were telling me that the Ubisoft Forward was supposed to start half an hour ago and it still hasn't. That it started late, and now they're saying you gotta wait another half an hour to even see it, so it's all fucked up. I think we will get some stuff out of Ubisoft Forward today. I think because all the new Assassin's Creed games already leaked. The next one coming out supposedly next year, and then there's like one a year for the next few years. But the first one is supposed to be a full-fledged game that's set in Baghdad. That's like the old Assassin's Creed formula, where it's all about assassinations again. It's not like fucking Witcher 3. But then the next two are set in their new like Infinity universe, where it's the shared universe, and the first one's supposed to be Japan or something, and the next one after that is supposed to be, I think they said Rome, at the time of some weird thing going on. So basically, you know, they got a real Assassin's Creed game next year, right? And then after that, they're going into their new weird formula that no one really knows if they're going to like it or not. So there you go. But we should have a lot of information about that today. And plus, Ubisoft, of course, makes other games, so we'll probably learn about other games as well. We might have a lot to talk about on tomorrow's Level 1 podcast, okay? Okay. So that's all I got to talk about today. We do have some shout-outs to do on the tip side of things. We have no super chats, no super stickers, and no memberships. So I hope that they're working. To my knowledge, they are. It's just odd to me because usually by this time in the podcast, we have at least one of something. But I'm checking and everything seems functional. Okay? So
there's a hint if ever a bloody heard one. Like, guys, nobody's tipped me all stream. I don't know if it's working or not. I do hope my tips are working. Oh no. And it's been a while since I had a super chat happen, and maybe it's not working anymore. I do sure wish it was fucking hint. Jesus fucking Christ. I like that I've had more super chats today than Phil has so far. Get it up, you wee dick. I've got a better audience than you, Phil.
It must just be a rare day where nothing's going on in that realm. Tips have come in. Let's shout out for the tips, all right? So we start off today with Guitar Player 1939, who did a $4.20 tip. Let's get him up on the leaderboard. Excuse me. Okay, Guitar Player says the following. I watched the gameplay demo for Hogwarts Legacy, and I hope that it's not going to be another generic RPG. Me too. You know what actually threw me for a loop? They just announced there's no Quidditch in the game. That's a big, in my opinion, that's a big loss. Like, why not? Quidditch is the sport of the Wizarding world. I think people would like to have a Quidditch minigame in this. I mean, I hate to say it, think Final Fantasy X. As much as I hate Blitzball, right? People talk about Blitzball still to this day because it was a big minigame thing in Final Fantasy X. It was a part of the lore of the universe. Quidditch has always been an integrated part of the Harry Potter universe. It was a big part of the movies. And the fact that they decided not to put it in there is kind of odd to me. It makes me question, like, what will be and what won't be in there. You know, and I agree with Guitar Player. I definitely don't want it to be a generic style RPG just with some Hogwarts stuff in it. I prefer if it really was a Hogwarts identity style game with RPG elements. I want it to be Hogwarts first, RPG second. You see what I'm saying? I hope that they're not focusing on it being an RPG, but then there's some Hogwarts stuff. I would rather have it be all the lore and all the universe of Hogwarts immersed in it, and then have RPG elements. And that actually, again, confuses me because Quidditch, yeah, that's a huge missed opportunity in my opinion to not do it. So I'm hoping for the best, and I hope the game is good. All right, I guess we need more information. Thank you, Guitar Player, for the first tip. An anonymous tipper to me $1.50 says, last year you said that you skipped Call of Duty because it got bad reviews, so no one wanted to see it, and you were boycotting it because the Activision Blizzard drama because it wasn't right. Last year, a lot happened. Number one, yes, the Activision Blizzard drama was going down, remember? And I was telling you guys I didn't know if I was going to feel right buying the game from them at that time. And then I said, well, let's take this opportunity to try out the beta and see if the beta's any good. I fucking hated the beta. I thought the beta was shit. I remember the first time I played, I thought it was all right. And then when I played it a second time and a third time, every time I played it, I said, the more I play this beta, the more I hate this game. It's worse and worse the more I play it. And by the way, the beta was completely unfinished, full of bugs and glitches. It was a huge joke. Now what I...
Isn't that why it's a fucking beta? It's not a fucking final product. It's basically a test to see how the game performs because it's literally a beta. His opinion, his entire opinion of the game was based on an unfinished product. MC2 Tech reviews is suggesting with a hint bingo spot be a good one. I think it could be. I think it could actually be a good shout. I've had a couple of good suggestions. Conroy said one earlier on. I actually forget what Conroy suggested earlier on, but he had a great fucking shout earlier on. And I really, if Conroy reminds me what he said earlier on, I should take a note of it. I'm going to take a wee note of the hints now. So, necessarily, that was it, Conroy. Thank you. I'm actually taking notes now. So 2 seconds, I'm just literally typing necessarily. There we go. So I've got hint and necessarily as future ideas for the bingo spots. I really should have taken a note earlier on, Conroy. Thank you for reminding me again of what it was. Thank you very much to Kyle Denson for Super Chat. It says, what's the percentage of trolls to actual fans you think tune into Phil? Also, Project 7 was so bad, it was like they were reading from a teleprompter. Yeah, they're not actors. They're not actors at all. Phil was so bad at it as well. Rambo was probably the most comfortable, to be honest. You know, he was quite comfortable in it. And also a couple of the kind of random side characters that are actually used to kind of acting to a point. But yeah, Phil and Howard were very wooden, but they are not performers or know how to really perform in a map. At least back then, anyway. Phil is obviously, you know, he's used to talking a lot, but he's not used to performing, I guess. Big difference between fucking people that can talk a huge amount and people that can, you know, perform a role, in my opinion. Percentage of, you know, trolls to actual fans in Phil's chat. I mean, if you look at the guys, best in the world, awesome, is always doing Romance Cat, but he does seem, I mean, it's funny because he's in his chat right now, you can see him in his chat now, and he is talking normally. He's talking about RE saying Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. So he's not just in chat to spam Romance Cat, he actually does contribute to chat, but he isn't here the other day. And he was just saying Romance Cat randomly, so it's bizarre. Dake is a detractor, and yet he gave Phil the idea to do YouTube snorts. So it's bizarre, it's funny, it's kind of funny, like where's the line between evil detractor who wants to ruin Phil and unironic fan who's kind of doesn't really care? It's bizarre, it's a very strange, it's not just one and the other, in my opinion. It's not just a case of us versus them. There's some fans who are kind of fair weather and fucking just turn up because they want some white noise in the background and they don't necessarily care to an extent. And they may find it okay, but they don't really pay much fucking attention. There's detractors who turn up to Phil's chat who take the fucking piss out of him a wee bit, but at the same time they'll throw him ideas and Phil actually might bite at those ideas like he did with YouTube snorts. It's bizarre though, because obviously there's people there. I'm not in his chat. Obviously, I'm on his stream, so you can restream the master. So, but my Dake is an absolute detractor. and yet he seems to enjoy being in Phil's chat and talking normally and all that, you know. It's bizarre to me. But again, it's not just a case of one and the other. It's like many different kind of levels. It also says there's some detractors as well that are very angry, you know. Some detractors are like, I want Phil to fucking end and he needs to be finished off, and it's like, calm down, just calm down, you know. Phil will finish Phil off. He's his own worst enemy. So yeah, it's a bizarre one, you know. It's a bizarre. It's hard to say. It's probably like a 50-50 split, maybe a 50-50 kind of ratio between fan and kind of semi-detractor, something like that, I think.
Said was, they basically have a month to fix this. If they fix it in the month, maybe I'll consider getting it, but it just doesn't look good to me. And then the reviewer said, no, it's not fixed, piece of shit, so I didn't get it. So, okay, good for you. What was your point with that tip exactly? Thanks for the tip, I guess. I mean, I don't know how...
Why is he being so aggressive at the guy at tipped? He just pointed out that Phil's excuses last year for fucking playing the game. It wasn't about the game being bad. It was, he fucking was like taking a stance against Activision. Shinko's saying, speak for yourself, Jad. I'm flying to Renton as we speak. I'm on playing Wi-Fi. I'm jealous you get playing Wi-Fi to work, man. I don't know if it's like, I don't know why it doesn't work. Whenever I'm on a plane, I'm not on a plane a huge amount, to be fair, but there was no real option for playing Wi-Fi with fucking Jet 2 when I fucking went to the Canary Islands from Scotland. You're in the air and you're basically just okay, just, you know, sit there and shut up and enjoy the no entertainment we give you. There's nothing, like, you got your own entertainment. Keep yourselves amused for like 5 hours while you're flying to the Canaries. Oh, good. Have a good time in Renton, Shinko. I would recommend Burger King, but not the dodgy one. There's 2 Burger Kings, you don't want a dodgy one. What was I fucking saying? I was fucking saying something, I completely lost my train of fucking thought. I really completely lost my fucking train of thought there. What was I fucking saying? I felt like I was saying something that was somewhat semi-important. No, that was it. He was fucking bitching about this fucking tip that came in. And he's like fucking aggressively challenging again. Listen to the tip again, right? Listen to what he's saying. So the guy tips him and says, you fucking, you know, you said you weren't playing Call of Duty last year because of all the drama that was happening with Activision and Blizzard and all that. And that's what Phil had said, and Phil admits he said it, and now it ends reading out and explaining the shit by aggressively challenging why the guy tipped. Why do people tip you, Phil? Usually it's because you say you need support desperately.
Information. Thank you, Guitar Player, for the first tip. An anonymous tipper to me $1.50 says, last year you said that you skipped Call of Duty because it got bad reviews, so no one wanted to see it, and you were boycotting it because the Activision Blizzard drama because it wasn't right.
That is accurate. There is nothing false in that statement whatsoever, and Phil admits all this. So why does it end reading out this tip and addressing it very aggressively towards a guy?
Last year, a lot happened. Number one, yes, the Activision Blizzard drama was going down, remember? And I was telling you guys I didn't know if I was going to feel right buying the game from them at that time. And then I said, well, let's take this opportunity to try out the beta and see if the beta's any good. I fucking hated the beta. I thought the beta was shit. I remember the first time I played it, I thought it was all right. And then when I played it a second time and a third time, every time I played it, I said, the more I play this beta, the more I hate this game. It's worse and worse the more I play it. And by the way, the beta was completely unfinished, full of bugs and glitches. It was a huge joke. Now, what I said was, they basically have a month to fix this. If they fix it in the month, maybe I'll consider getting it, but it just doesn't look good to me. And then the reviewer said, no, it's not fixed, it's a piece of shit, so I didn't get it. So, okay, good for you. What was your point with that tip exactly? Thanks for the tip, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else to respond to that. Like, yeah, all you did is you elaborated upon my more simplistic version of what happened last year and why I skipped Vanguard, but it's still correct. So, thanks for corroborating what I said. All right.
Ether P coming with some fire there. I thought that a man having as much estrogen as Phil wouldn't be so fucking aggressive. Well, that's a very good point. It's a very strange it feels like Phil felt like he was attacked there. The guy just reminded Phil what he himself said on his own content a year ago about a situation, and Phil was very aggressive about being confronted with his own statements. It's bizarre. It's utterly bizarre why he was so aggressive with that guy. I'm really confused why he's so aggressive about the guy bringing up those points.
Alrighty then. Stefan has tipped me $3. Stefan says the following. I saw recently you mentioned your webcam is over 10 years old. It is. If you're interested, I'm willing to fund money for you to buy a new one or other equipment with the stipulation you have to put the money towards that purchase. So here's the...
Oh god. Profit. Leave the room. I don't think Profit's going to want to hear this. Just go, just leave the room, Prophet. I care about your sanity, pal. I care for your sake here, pal. Just get out of here. Come back in like 3 minutes or something. Just go, run. I'm trying to save your sanity here, pal. Right, I'm going to play it. Brace yourselves. I'm going to assume he's going to say he can't get a new webcam because he thinks it's going to fucking max out the CPU. A higher quality thing, I think he's going to say it's going to max out the CPU or something. I think he's going to fucking... I think he's going to try and say that. Let's see what he says.
The thing, because Stefan, I'm not kidding. You're about the 5th person to talk about this. I'm not even kidding. Yes, my webcam is a piece of dog shit. I've said this a million times. It's over 10 years old. The lens is this small. It has no zoom functionality whatsoever. It's blurry. Even though it's supposed to be 1080p, it's not. You're supposedly looking at 1080p video right now. Does it look like 1080p video to you? Right? I didn't think so. Okay? I mean, just to get it to look as it does, I have to squish it. I have to have a border. You see, to make it even look as good as it does. All right? Now, here's the deal and here's the problem, which I've explained a million times this year, but people, I guess, have really selective hearing and only hear what they want to hear, and they don't hear the rest of the story. So what you heard was, oh, Phil's webcam sucks because he did YouTube shorts and the YouTube shorts look great. Why can't all his videos look like that? Right? Right. Okay. Here's the deal. My PC is over 8 years old now. I bought it in 2014. I've used this every day for streaming and capturing since 2014. All right? My PC is old and it works, but man, doesn't need an upgrade. And what I mean by that is everything about it. Right now, I'm not exaggerating. All I'm doing right now is capturing this webcam. There's nothing else going on. You see, there's no gameplay, there's nothing. My CPU is at 55% use right now, just with this webcam. When I'm playing a game, you may say to yourself, why do you do only 480p video? Why do you make your webcam smaller from 1080p? Because when I do, my setup maxes out and all the frames flag up and drop. My PC is so old that this is before the era of capturing being divvied out to the video card. Back then, the capturing really was supposed to be done by the CPU. That was what handled the load of that. Yes, there was shadow play back in the day, but shadow play back in the day was not good. It basically made giant file sizes that were unmanageable. And I did dabble in this when I first got this PC, and what I found is trying to upload those videos to YouTube, they would get stuck in processing, they would have errors and glitches, because the file sizes were huge, okay? So I ended up just doing straight up capture with my CPU, which is what I still do to this day 8 years later. The videos look pretty good, but it limits my setup. You see, right now, if I were to buy a brand new, amazing quality webcam and add it to my setup, I couldn't even use it. I would probably be able to use it just for the podcast.
Called it. Called it. I called it. Kinda called it. I kinda called it. There's so much I know is wrong with this. And I have a feeling that Prophet is going to... Yeah, I had a feeling because Prophet straight away says his webcam that Phil uses supports hardware encoding. Prophet, does it sound right to you that him doing what he's doing right now has his CPU usage at 55%? Does that sound normal to you? Actually, let me randomly check my shit. 2 seconds, guys. Let me fire up my task manager and see my performance stats. My CPU usage right now is 15-16%. 13. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Mind you, I'm not recording either. I am simply streaming this. Well, I've got Chrome open, you know, shit, and I've got the fucking Microsoft Paint open, and I don't have a webcam either, and all that shit. So it's a lot kind of less. You could argue. I'm at 14%, averaging like 13-14%. Occasionally spikes up to 21 randomly, and then fucking goes back down to the low teens. But I assume that's normal. In fact, I'm pretty sure you streamed yourselves. You showed your own CPU usage. Ever, you know, when you do these debunk streams, Prophet, you show your own CPU. I'm pretty sure, and your CPU usage stays quite relatively low. So it's one of those things. Does it sound normal that Phil's is up to like 55% just because he's recording and streaming at the same time while he's got his webcam showing? And is it up to 55% because he's not using his own webcam to encode? I'm trying to understand why Phil's situation is so bad. In terms of why is it maxed? Is it just a simple case of Phil cannot set up properly to optimise the equipment he has to its full potential? His ignorance is extremely holding him back. Is that a simple way to explain that? He could be at 55% dependent on the shit he has in the background, but I highly doubt it, says Prophet. And some people think he's got viruses. Also keep in mind, a very pertinent point here, Phil rarely turns off a computer. He rarely updates the fucking computers. He was stuck on like Windows 8 for a long fucking time. In fact, he still might be. I don't. Is he still on Windows 8? He actually might be. I don't know. He might be on Windows 8 still. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think he wanted to update the computer. I can't even mind that. Is he on Windows 10? Okay, he's on Windows 10. There was a thing though for the longest time, he had a Stream Deck and he couldn't use it because he was on an older version of Windows. Mind that nonsense. Like somebody actually gave him like one of those Elgato Stream Decks, fancy thing he could use, and he couldn't actually implement it for the longest time because he wouldn't update his operating system. He hates to update his stuff, he really does. His Elgato Mini supports Windows 7. I don't know. But it's very possible. Hey, D-Dog, you're still here, pal. I thought you were trying to sleep, pal. D-Dog is saying, yes, he doesn't know OBS and hasn't updated it. Yeah. Yes, it's crazy. Phil is just being classic Phil here. He doesn't seem to fully understand the best way to get the most out of his hardware that he's got available, his computer and his webcam. He's not set up as well as he should have. Prophet has debunked him completely across 5 or 6 different videos now about how his setup can work perfectly fine if he just has the knowledge of, utilising it effectively. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend watching Prophet's videos debunking Phil's nonsense. He's made like 5 of them, as I said, and he really goes through on why Phil's extremely stupid and wrong about these kind of things. In fact, let me try and get a link for you guys. I could just say, go, but let me actually do the legwork for you guys. 2 seconds. I'll fetch Prophet's video. No, well, channel. I'll get his channel for you guys. Actually, I might get part 1 for you. That may be an easier thing to do. So there's Prophet's channel here. Where's part 1? Is this part 1 here? No, it's part 2. This is part 1 here. A month ago. Here we go. Need to remove my wee timestamp I've got from it. I think. Actually, 2 seconds. Sorry for DD on the stream, guys. 2 seconds. Just want to make sure I can get a link right. Right, hit share, copy the link. So, Prophet's videos, part 1. As I say, he made like 5 or 6 parts to it. I would highly recommend watching them all. That is the first part of Prophet's videos when he debunks Phil's nonsense. And he made his first part back in July when Phil was actually trying to buy a new PC and he was going through all the components and parts that Phil was actually looking at, and wanted to buy. Prophet knows his stuff when it comes to computers. Highly recommend checking it out just so you can watch along. Phil will say something and Prophet will debunk why that's nonsensical. Quite good stuff.
Maybe I could do it for this and it would not go crazy if it was a good 1080p webcam. But if I tried to use it for my streaming, it would probably immediately hit 100% CPU and fry everything and crash and chop up and everything. I'm in a situation where I'm bottlenecked. I need to have an upgrade, so I need a new PC. We talked about this in July, right? We went through several weeks in July where every podcast we were talking about what does Phil need. Here, I'll even read it to you. Ready?
He's still got his list, which will come up in that first part of the video that I linked to in Prophet's channel.
Here's what we determined I would need for a good capture PC at this point. All right. An AMD Ryzen 7 5800X level or an Intel i7 processor, one or the other would be good. For the GPU, probably an NVIDIA 3060 Ti or 3070, although admittedly if I'm not going to play games, the GPU is probably something I could significantly skimp on to cut down the price of the rig, but it would depend on my resources. RAM, a minimum of 16 gigs, but optimally 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Capture card should be an internal card. What we actually found out is that 4K cards are very common these days, and therefore it would make more sense to get a 4K card, even if I'm not going to use it right now. It would future-proof everything. Hard drive, I would need 2. For the operating system, probably a terabyte SSD. And then for storage, probably 3 to 5 terabyte HDD, standard hard drive. You don't need a...
The great thing about this is that Prophet, so I think it was that first part that Prophet actually goes through all these components. I think Prophet tries to price what Phil would actually, need. And he found a cheaper version of what Prophet, what Phil needs. But Prophet has debunked Phil's needs for a new PC. Prophet has proven that Phil can do everything he desires on his current setup, he just doesn't use it effectively. As I'm saying, Prophet's videos are very good for this because he breaks down all the details, the technical details of PCs. Prophet can build PCs from scratch, he has done it before. During a whole pre-stream podcast of Phil's, Prophet built a whole fucking PC from scratch on his own channel and he live streamed it. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to PCs, he knows how they work, he knows what's good, and he knows this shit, this is his thing. He clearly knows more than Phil does with this thing. Phil pretends he's an expert in this shit, or at least he tried to, but then Phil admitted that he's a dinosaur with it, and he's... Back in the day, Phil said he built PCs, I highly doubt that. Maybe fucking bought a he probably bought an external hard drive, plugged it into a USB fucking socket, and thought, that's me building this PC. I've added so much extra storage to my PC now. Look at me, I'm amazing at this crap.
SSD for that. Okay? Air cooling makes sense, because water cooling systems sadly tend to have issues and break down. And you don't want that. You want a sophisticated air cooling system. Probably a power supply of 850 watts or greater. People even recommended certain motherboards, like the MSI B550 Tomahawk motherboard. People were suggesting webcams. I have something, the Sony A-series webcam, or a few other models were suggested. So I know kind of what I need. And we actually priced it out. High end, if I went high end, probably around $2,000 to $2,500. Low end, you could probably do it for around $1,300 if I skimmed down a lot of stuff. All right? So we talked about this. All right? But I can't afford it. Literally, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. This month in particular, especially, I'm making even less because of what happened with the copyright strikes. I lost a bunch of revenue on memberships last month. I'm not exaggerating. I've done the math now, guys. I'm basically losing about $1,000 this month. When I get paid by YouTube, I actually don't know how I'm going to do all my stuff later this month. I have no clue. I'm going to make $1,000 less than I usually do this month because I lost over 300 memberships. Yeah. This sucks. I don't know. Like, I'm going to have a really bad time later this month. It's going to be rough. You know? So, this is what I mean. This is the situation. This is what I'm living in. I don't have funds to get this. You know, there was someone who was looking to possibly fund it, and, you know, they were looking to go lower end, like maybe 1,000 to 1,500, and then they backed out and couldn't do it, which is fine. I'm not mad at them or anything. So now I'm stuck. So without being able to upgrade the PC, there's no point really in buying a new webcam because there's no guarantee. Now, here's the thing. It could work. Maybe the webcam could work, but there's no guarantee. Why should I ask for money? Why should someone buy me a webcam and then I can't use it? That would be a complete waste of time and money for everyone, so I don't want to go there. I'd rather say we got to settle for what I've got, you know, until I get into the situation where I can afford this stuff, you know? It is what it is. It's the life I'm living, you know. It sucks, but things will get better eventually. You just got to tough through the tough times.
Yeah, he said life. This is a life I'm living. He said life. That's another bingo. Fucking Yaldi. We are 5 away from a full house. I know it feels like we haven't had a huge amount of bingos today, but we're 5 away from a full house. By the way, didn't the guy have some financial issues? The guy that was going to get him the new PC, or give him the money for a new PC, he said he backed out because of the rising cost, but I thought the fellow said that something happened to the guy in real life which saw him require that money instead, which is why he backed out. Yeah, he hasn't said bills yet. I'm surprised. I thought he would have said fucking bills there when he was talking about he was going to earn $1,000 less. By the way, I called it. I said it was $1,000 less. You use the tips tracker, piece of piece logs this meticulously. He really does pay attention to this shit. This is why he said he's going to earn about $1,000 less. Like, so YouTube pay for fucking, you know, July. The money he got in August for the July payment was pretty damn good. Usually though, it's like between 4 and 4.5 grand on average. Sometimes he has really good fucking months, especially like after memberships lately, which is why I kind of bumped up here a lot. It really, you can tell this kind of spike in gifted memberships here. You can really tell when that is high. I wonder if can you deselect? No, you can't deselect. I was wondering if you can just deselect Patreon and tips so you just see YouTube only. Piece of piece, make that happen. Make it so I can just tick this so you can fucking deselect these things so you see one thing only. But so far for September, Phil's got $874 in YouTube chat, stuff, whatever. But that won't be updated actually, to be fair. That won't be updated because it hasn't been updated for yesterday's evening stream. So yeah. You can see what I'm talking about though, you know, you can see what I'm talking about. Phil is earning at least about $1,000 less than usual. Boo-hoo for Phil. Rich people problems. Sad face.
You know, so it is what it is. Okay. All right. So Stefan, I appreciate the offer, but since there's really there's no point in time.
Now, first of all, there's a hell of a T-pose right there. He is holding the hell of that T-pose. Second of all, have you seen Phil's chat? This random super chat he's getting. Older, so the chat, they had one earlier on here. Here, the first one here, holstered honey buns. Thoughts on being a sugar baby. And it came back with this nonsense here. Older, wealthier person with a younger person who trades extended companionship for financial assistance. I was offered to be a sugar baby. His chat are weird. There's no two ways about it. Some is bizarre.
Time that I can guarantee that I can get a new PC, there's really no point in considering buying a webcam. You know. There you go. Okay, Snow Carl did a couple of tips this morning. First one says you recently adopted shorts as a medium of content, as well as pivoting to react content and other things. You think you'll soon start cutting down on stream time to have time to focus on these things? It might reach a bigger audience. There's literally no time required to focus on shorts. Shorts are literally moments. You know what I mean? A minute. Or highlighting. Like I said, what I'll probably do is once a week, I'll take a look at what I do in a week. And I'll try to highlight one of the coolest moments of this week. So far, what did we do? Yesterday we did some Splatoon, some Street Fighter. Did anything too notable happen yesterday? Not particularly. Okay? Today we're going to do Saints Row and Disney Dreamlight Valley. What I'll likely do is do some highlights of the best moments. What happens this week, whatever the best moments are, you know, do a little clip of each one and put them out in shorts. So people see what they missed and maybe they'll come check out the content after the fact. As for React, I've already talked about this. I like implementing it into my content, but I don't want it to be something that I do all the time because if I do, then it's not special. Okay? So doing a React like 1 or 2 a month tops is the way to go about it, I feel. That's why I have one as a special reward this month if we hit the members goal early within 6 more days, right? So there you go. But no, am I going to take significant time away from what I love to do those things? No, but I will take some time away, but I'm not going to take giant chunks. No, I'm not going to be like, oh, night streams will be dedicated to shorts and reacts while day streams will be gameplay. I'm not doing anything like that right now, okay? Okay. Snow Carl to another $1.50. He says, Snow Carl's very offensive when you clear your throat like that. But anyway, Snow Carl to another $1.50 tip, and he says, do you think the demise of your trolls and detractors is no demise? I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're even addressing. On YouTube and other sites leads to a decline in viewership and attention.
Hold on a second. Phil declared victory over the trolls yesterday. He literally said, I beat the trolls. I have declared victory. This is our win against the trolls. Phil literally declared victory over the trolls. That's probably why some people are phrasing it as he's, you know, they've been defeated. Apparently we've all lost, guys. We've all lost. We all took a big massive L because Phil won a copyright counterclaim against one random person that pretended to fucking make his intros. So let's rewind this shit just to kind of get full context. I won't rewind too far. I'll fucking make sure I don't fucking get the throat clearers.
But anyway, Snow Carl did another $1.50 tip, and he says, do you think the demise of your trolls and detractors is no demise? I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're even addressing. On YouTube and other sites leads to a decline in viewership and attention on your channel. Do you think it might actually be the opposite and you might get more viewers? Thanks. First of all, no one's died. You're acting like people are dead. What are you talking about? I don't even understand what he's saying. I really don't.
I fucking perfectly understand what he's saying. Snow Carl was asking whether so Superhound went after some YouTube channels, right? Some Detractor channels got struck by Superhound. Hate Army Watch in particular seems to really be in their sights constantly. So it's one of those things where a lot of these kind of, you know, guys that clip, you know, Phil's stuff as raw content, you know, these guys are getting targeted by Superhounds. Kiwi Farms is also getting hit hard right now. So Kiwi Farms was a big, massive area where a lot of the attention sometimes went for Phil's antics, especially because they were usually on top of things. It was one of the places where things were talked about a lot and picked apart and even explored. You know, a lot of investigation stuff happened there as well. Ideas were shared there, you know. So Kiwi Farms going down, as well as some prominent Detractor YouTube channels going down, could result in less interest overall in DSP Gaming, because the theory is that he is as big as he is still pertinent today, not because of his own efforts, but because there's an amount of attention on him from people like us, essentially, that pay attention to Phil, that fucking give him the attention across other forms of across our channels, you know. It's not just Phil. So if there was no Detractor channels at all, if there was no restreams of Phil, would he be getting us then instead as viewers? No, he wouldn't. Snow Carl was asking, does he think it's going to increase his engagement and viewership in numbers, or does he think it might actually harm it because some publicity and negative publicity is better than no publicity? The question is very easy to understand. It's very easy to understand what Snow Carl's asking here, and Phil being ignorant about it is bizarre to me.
No. If all of my haters and detractors and stalkers went away overnight, okay, here's what I think would happen. Yes, there would be an actual decline in overall attention and interest thrown my way. But it's not the kind of interest that really matters. The kind of interest that would decline is the people who watch and hate. Hate watchers. They're not necessarily sitting here watching my stream right now. They're watching the restreamer, you know? If the restreamers disappeared, I'd still be fine. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd still be popular with my hardcore audience. I'd still be good. All right? Here's the difference. All right? If all of them went away, I could actually do things that would grow this channel. I could do sponsorships and partnerships.
I'd like to point out that I've not done a single fucking thing to prevent Phil from doing more to his channel. What have I done? Name one thing I've done that has prevented Phil Burnell from doing more to grow his channel. Anyone at all name me one thing that I have done to fucking stop Phil Burnell from doing something better for his channel. We're just fucking here playing bingo, based on his own mannerisms and actions and words. By the way, I'm calling that YouTuber jealousy. He's quite jealous of the restreamer still, obviously. He's definitely jealous of all those dirty, nasty restreamers that steal his views and all that shit. He's jealous as hell about that.
I could do collabs and team-ups. I can't do any of those things right now because the trolls will fuck them up for me every single time that I try. You understand? So until that element goes away, I can never touch one of those things. It's that simple, all right? Yes, is it true that there are people that watch the negative stuff and then come and become fans of the stuff positively? Yes, that is true. Yes, there might be a loss of that element, but things would go back to the way that they used to be, where people would actually find me, and instead of just seeing 400 videos that are shitting on me, they'd just see me. They'd be able to watch my content at face value and judge for themselves. And if they watch the content and they're like, oh, I can't stomach this guy, he sucks, or blah, 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 that's one thing. But they'd be judging for themselves instead of seeing the already existing criticism. Phil's a scammer, Phil's a beggar, Phil's a shitty content creator, Phil's this, Phil's that. Oh, by the way, here's finally the link to Phil's stream. When you see 10 negative qualifying judgments before you see the content in question, you just tend to have that negative association. That didn't used to happen to me back in the day. It used to be, oh, here's Darkside Phil or DSP Gaming, let's give him a fair shake. And now I don't get that anymore, you see?
I mean, the fact of the matter is, Phil, that Phil's channel is almost 200,000 fucking subscribers. His videos should be popping up first, and the fact that they're not is not because of what the detractors are doing, it's because of what Phil is doing primarily. His videos should be doing far better, and they should be showing up at the top of the list of every single search of DSP. The fact that they're not means there's a problem with Phil's content, clearly. Fact of the matter is that anyone, detractor channels like me, I'm a channel that's 1% of the size of DSP Gaming, and yet my videos can sometimes do better than Phil Burnell's videos. They usually do better than Phil Burnell's fucking videos. Let's just take an example, okay? Let's just have a wee measure here. Let's have a wee measuring contest here. Phil's videos from last night: 482 views, 293 views. 1.8k views for his fucking snort schedule. Okay, we don't count the snort schedule because that's just random. I think his views on the snort schedules are bizarre, man. They get fucking massive inflation. Maybe it's just because it's show up far more often than other people's fucking content. Who knows? The Daily Crap, 569 views. Okay, so his views for a channel the size of his channel, he should be getting far more video views. He uploads these videos and nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about his fucking raw gameplay content. In fact, his two most popular videos really are the Level 1 podcast and the Daily Crap. Nobody really cared about the fucking gameplay, really. You can argue, especially look at 1.1k views on the podcast. The Daily Crap, 569 views. Nobody cared about Street Fighter. Splatoon, it's a brand new game. It got the same rough amount of views as the Daily Crap. You see what I'm saying though? Trains saying he needs to edit his videos. That's the one thing Phil Burnell will never fucking do. He is not going to edit his fucking videos. Now let's go to my channel. So the videos I make, if I don't include live streams, just include like well, I guess I have no choice but to include live streams. But the videos, if it's got its own thumbnail list, so this thumbnail. So, this is a day ago I made this fucking video. DSP claims victory against all trolls. 3,000 views. DSP I just showed examples. Have I been pwned? I showed Phil, having an example of times he's been pwned. 1.3k views. I don't make a huge amount of DSP videos recently, but when I do, I usually get a couple of thousand views easily. DSP bans are tipping on PayPal, 2.7k. DSP memberships plummet, 2.6. DSP gets copyright claims against old fucking, old podcast intro, 4.5k views. YouTube removes DSP video for hate speech, 4.7k views. You see what I'm saying? When I make a video about Phil, I get a couple of thousand views easily. When Phil fucking uploads a video, he's lucky if he gets 1,000 views for it. It's bizarre, man. I should not be getting better views than Phil Burnell for having a channel 1% the size of his. And by the way, I'm like 20 fucking or 30 people away from 2,000 subscribers, which is bizarre to me. I might get to 2,000 before Phil gets to 200,000, and he really should be. It's incredible how long this is taking for Phil to get to 200,000 subscribers. It really is. He in 2014 was at like 175,000 or something. So keep in mind, 8 years he struggled to get 25k extra subscribers on his shit. 8 years, and it's not grown exponentially. It's just gotten worse, the content. D-Dog has said, as Spiff and Brit pointed out about shorts, Asia, Africa and Indian countries have mobiles more than PCs, tablets and TVs. Shorts get far more viewership. I thought you were going to bed, young man. Don't make me get Heather P to fucking make sure you go to bed. She likes doing that. She fucking likes making sure the detractors go to bed when they should. Hey, Sunspot Gallery, how you doing?
So, it's that simple. No, if they all went away overnight and disappeared permanently and never bothered me again, I actually feel there would be growth. Would I be virally popular and become one of these giant YouTubers? Likely never, no. But at least I, not have to deal with harassment every day. Neither would my viewers, by the way, and supporters. It would be a much better situation. It would. But, the hilarious part, alright, the absolute hilarious part about all of it is that these idiots actually try to judge for themselves that they're justified in what they do because they help me out. I'm serious about this too. They have this weird backwards justification.
I'd like to point out that I don't think I'm helping Phil out. I don't fucking care. I'm just here to play fucking bingo. I like to point out his lies and his fallacies. I like, whenever Phil lies with something, I like correcting that shit and just setting the record straight. I'm all about being open and transparent. When Phil lies, I just say, hey, he's lying, this is why. 6 AM, bloody hell, D-Dog. Jesus, man. To be fair, D-Dog, I mean, I did something, it kind of reminded me of Phil a bit today. I had a nap today. Like, I woke up early because my dog, kinda. And so I was up early and it got to the point in the day where it's like, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We were up early on a Saturday, we didn't need to be up early on a Saturday. And I thought, you know what, let's have a nap. Let's just have a wee nap, whatever, we're fine. D-Dog's in Australia, by the way, Hale Gaming, that's why it's 6 AM where he is. He's in Australia. At least, I think it's Australia. He's in that part of the world anyway, so I can, yeah. So yeah, I had a nap and I only woke up about 6:10, which is, full disclosure, 20 minutes before I was due to start streaming. So the fact that I woke up from my nap 20 minutes before I was due to go live reminded me irresistibly of Phil Burnell and how he, conducts himself for his job, his profession, his livelihood. Prophet says it was about 4 AM, took a nap at 10 AM and set an alarm for 11:30 for bingo. Some man.
They actually believe in their own twisted fucking heads that the only reason that anyone cares about me is because of them. You literally make content ripping me apart every day, but the only reason people care about me is because of you.
No, I wouldn't say that. The detractors didn't exist. Phil, if there, okay, let's play devil's advocate here, right? If there was never, this is how you don't play. If there was never Sons of Kojima, if there was never detractors saying anything about Phil Burnell, would he still be here? Now keep in mind, this is a very interesting butterfly effect scenario I'm saying here. If there was never any single detractors, keep in mind the things that's going to be happening here. It would mean that there would be no copyright strikes against Phil in 2015. Okay? Which means his channel would not have been killed, really, by the algorithm shit. His channel would still have had some prominence. Phil closed comments himself back then, Diggler, but the fact is that he closed comments because it's a side don't play starting. It's one of those things, it's hard to actually gauge how Phil would have been and where he would have been without a single detractor. The fact of the matter is, though, we're all here because of who he is. Phil's toxicity has dragged people like me and you here to fucking pick apart his nonsensical bullshit and just, drama shit he goes. He needs to, so, he would still be here, but I feel he needs us, if that makes sense. He needs people fucking talking about him. He needs to be relevant. He needs to be fucking talked about in certain circles on Reddit and all shit, because it means that people are still aware of his existence and they might come check him out. He needs us more than we need him, as I said, because this is his livelihood, this is his living, this is his only way to secure money from idiots. We do this for fun, we do this as a laugh, we can just fucking walk away at any point in time. So if we get bored of fucking... So there's a guy that did DSP content before, Azermain, right? He very recently just decided, you know what, I'm not doing Phil stuff anymore, I'm stopping it at least for a while, and he's just going to ignore Phil. And anyone could do that at any fucking point. Anyone can just decide to do that. Nobody is trapped here covering Phil, but Phil is trapped in his wee office doing this every single day, begging for dollars and dimes every single fucking day from the same crowd every single fucking day. That's a beautiful difference between these two things.
Do I even have to say another word? I guess not. I guess I don't have to say a word. I mean, for those of us who have brains, you're like, huh? But this is what they do. That's how they justify their actions. Because to anyone else from the outside who looks at those people, wow, so you literally just sit here and you hate watch a person every day, you shit on them every day, this is your hobby, this is your pastime, you need help. But then they say, oh no, you don't understand, I'm doing good for the guy, because if it weren't for me, he'd never get any attention. This is how they justify their insanity.
No, I don't care if I'm doing good for Phil or not. I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to play fucking bingo. Now fucking say bills and sound good, you wee dick.
Okay. Anyway, there you go, Snow Carl. All right, so that's it. Like I said, there's no super chats and no memberships today. So I've shouted out the tips. Thank you for those who've tipped. I guess we will now open it up to some Q&A. We have a few more extra minutes here for open Q&A before we get started with the end game push of Saints Row 1. Okay. Waiting. Snow Carl, prices have not really come down here in the United States. No. A little bit on the gas side, because at one point gas was like almost $6 a gallon, and now it's like $4.90. But outside of that, no, prices in stores are still sky high. Prices on everything are still sky high. We have not seen any alleviation of inflation, despite, once again, our media claiming there hasn't been. They're just doing that to stop people from panicking. It's bullshit. Hello, Guts. How are you today? Good to see you. Cooper says, now you're doing YouTube shorts about TikTok. Well, you can't implement TikTok on your channel, right? I think it makes more sense to implement something that can highlight my channel and push attention towards the channel, which is where I make my living. So I would go with the shorts over, TikTok shit. What were the copyright strikes over? If you want the full explanation, check out yesterday's episode of the Level 1 podcast. The giant focus of that podcast was that. I even have examples and things that I showed, so you can check that out. Would I dual stream if I had a new setup? I don't know why I would want to dual stream. Where else would I stream? I don't want to be on Twitch, so why would I stream somewhere else?
For the record, you're not allowed to dual stream on YouTube and Twitch. You can dual stream across two platforms, but it can't be those two. You can do, like, I think TikTok and Twitch is allowed, I'm not sure. There is some platforms you can dual stream, but you cannot do Twitch and YouTube at the same time, it's not allowed.
Oni Hack says, if there was one thing in your past you could change to improve your life currently, what would it be? I mean, there's a million things. Number one, I would have paid my taxes properly when I moved here, which I didn't do for over 3 years, leading to, no exaggeration, over $10,000 of penalties and late fees and shit that fucked me over. Because I had the money. I had the money to pay those taxes properly all along. I just didn't know I was supposed to be paying them. I certainly wouldn't have overspent the way I did when I moved out here in anticipation that things would go badly and I wouldn't have the income that I have or expected to have to pay off the debt that I incurred. I definitely would not have showed up. I definitely would not have shown as much of my personal life as I did. I would have kept a lot of things private and separate like I do now. Now, most of my personal life is separate from what I make public, right? When I walk out of this door, outside of the few things I tell you about, what I had for dinner, exercise, something Jasper did silly in the house, maybe, what I did on a day off or a little bit of conversation my wife is playing for games, you don't actually know about a lot of my private life. And that's on purpose. That's because people who used to know about my private life would literally make my life a living hell just because they could. Just because they could get away with it.
By the way, you want to know how we made his life a living hell? Whenever he showed his fucking house and we spotted something expensive, we would point out that very expensive thing that Phil bought, even though he was pleading poverty and begging for tips and contributions. And he would get pissy because we highlighted he bought something nice and shiny and new and expensive. That was how he made his fucking life hell, apparently, because we pointed out his excessive spending habits when he couldn't fucking afford it, apparently. That was how we apparently made his life a living hell.
I can fuck Phil's life up, let's do it. So, since I've separated private and public, things are a lot better. If I had done that a lot earlier in my life and not had everything be as transparent as it was, all right, likely I never would have been the subject of ridicule and slander and defamation as I was. People would not have used that to hurt me the way they did. And I probably would be a lot better off. But I was ignorant. I was very gullible, ignorant, and I thought, oh, what's the worst that could happen by literally sharing everything, right? It was very stupid. But, we're all ignorant at one point in our lives, and you wise up, and now I know a lot better than that. Okay. Willow, have a good day at the beach. Tell us all about it. You get back a happy birthday, by the way. Cool. Snow Carl says, have you considered suing your old tax attorney for poor advice? Yes, Snow Carl, if you could please provide me with all the funds to start that rolling lawsuit against the former tax attorney, I'd be very willing to accept that. We'll get that ball rolling right away. What I'll do is I'll give you my bank account number and you can forward me the funds immediately, okay?
I mean, it's a fucking pertinent point. Phil did blame that guy for bad advice. He literally blamed him, the fucking old tax attorney, which is apparently one of his parents' school friends or some bitch, you know. I don't even know fucking who the exact relationship was, but apparently it was like some family friend that was trained in a shit, and he apparently told Phil, you don't need to fucking, you know, pay state tax. I don't know what it was. Phil claimed the guy gave him bad advice on his taxes, which is why I was ignorant on what he'd have to do when he was there in Washington. But I don't know. It's a pertinent question because he blamed him for that, right? Or her, whoever the fuck it was, for that, you know, that bad advice. I don't know. Prophet says state B and O. B and O. What does B and O mean? I don't know. Catgirl Connoisseur saying, just so you know, you can multi-stream on YouTube, Twitch if you're not partnered or affiliated. Okay, that's what it is, Catgirl Connoisseur. That's what it is. Okay, that's what I meant. Actually, when I was saying it earlier on, I was like, Danny, I wasn't sure if it was related to that or not. To be fair, you know, review toilet paper is not body odor. That's BO. Prophet saying B and O. Jesus Christ, man. Imagine how disgusting that office smells. It rarely gets fucking cleaned, and Phil just fucking rolls out of fucking bed stinking of gin, fucking starting streaming his fucking jammy bottoms. Jesus Christ, man. B and O is business and occupation, or business and operation tax. Okay, I see. Thank you very much, Heather and Prophet. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the suggestion, Snow Carl. Sounds like a good idea.
I still think it's a good fucking shout though, because the guy gave you some terrible advice which has fucked up your life and you've not done anything about it. Basically, the guy just, you know, that is their fault and they've got away with ruining your life, Phil. And you can't get any sort of, you know, sort of compensation for that whatsoever. Are they still your family friends or whatever? Do your parents know that this person ruined your life? What do they think about it? Have they apologised to you? Have they apologised to your parents? It'd be interesting to know why the guy got away with giving Phil such terrible advice and whether he's still a family friend or not.
Kevin, there's no reason to talk about Washington Green PC guidelines when there's no funds to buy a PC regardless. That's a waste of everyone's time. Why would I talk about that now? No, I'm definitely not reformatting my computer. Cindy just suggested, did you try reformatting by reinstalling Windows and starting fresh on your existing computer? That would probably be the worst idea possible. I have a computer that works fine and has worked fine for 8 years. Let's start fucking with it.
If it works fucking fine, then why do some of your videos fucking corrupt? And by the way, it's been a long time since when your fucking YouTube uploads corrupted. How did that happen? You suddenly went from all my fucking, you know, videos I'm saving are corrupted on my hard drive. It's been a good while since we've seen that sort of drama happen, isn't it, guys? It's been a long fucking time since Phil's last fucking upload corrupted randomly. So it's almost as if his fucking computer's perfectly fucking fine all of a sudden, and his hard drive is not corrupting videos anymore. What's that all about? It just fixed itself magically whenever it wasn't an issue anymore. DJ Reno says he opened the window and the Seattle air fixed his HDD. That makes perfect sense. That's exactly what happened. Jesus Christ, man. When's actually the last time Phil talked about a video corruption? I'm actually curious. Let's go to Pig Go. Let's just type in corrupted. I think corrupted by a good word for it. Corrupted Covenant, no. Corrupted Toxic, no. Corrupted videos. The 15th of August. Almost a month ago.
We've noticed I'm getting corrupted videos, and...
Let me rewind this just so you can see what it says. 2 seconds.
In my game collection, that people were like, yeah, those games could have some really serious value if you find the right person. Okay? Now, I'm happy we did this yesterday, and here's why.
Why the fuck? This is my podcast. Why did you look... What the fuck's up with his hair? Why does it look like he fucking went for a swim?
We've been talking about this recently, that I need to upgrade my setup sooner rather than later. We've noticed I'm getting corrupted videos, and...
So he says he brings it up then on the 14th of August. But when was his actual last corrupted video? July, I think. I think it was actually the end of July. 2 seconds, guys.
Yes, if I were to get a brand new PC to replace my current one and upgrade my setup in order to basically do capture and streaming, okay? Because right now my PC, by the way, last night I had another corrupted video.
There you go. The 24th of July was his last corrupted upload. It is now the 10th of September. It seems to have fixed itself magically. Why has that happened, eh? How has that happened? It's magical. The 24th of July was his last corrupted upload. Can Phil explain why this is? He was using all his corrupted uploads before to try and get a new PC from people, and all of a sudden, since that is no longer pertinent, he has not asked, or it's not happened to him. He has not suffered any corrupted uploads. What gives, Phil? How did you fix it? Please do tell.
What? No, let's not fuck with it. Let's actually just let it work the way it's working. Be happy that it's worked as stable as it has for 8 years, and then when I can't upgrade, let's not fuck with the thing that I have that works. All right? For someone coming from experience, person who's had extensive experience with computers, if it ain't broke, you don't fuck with it. You leave it alone. Let it be.
Prophet, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Prophet? I'm going to rewind that just so Prophet can see.
What? No, let's not fuck with it. Let's actually just let it work the way it's working. Be happy that it's worked as stable as it has for 8 years, and then when I can't upgrade, let's not fuck with the thing that I have that works. All right? For someone coming from experience, person who's had extensive experience with computers.
Extensive experience with computers, Phil Burnell. And Prophet in chat is saying 0 maintenance, 0 updates, 0 cleaning. Extensive experience, 0 effort from Phil Burnell.
If it ain't broke, you don't fuck with it. You leave it alone. Let it be consistent, okay? BITW Awesome says, would you ever re-upload your first playthroughs of Red Dead Redemption, L.A. Noire, Final Fantasy 12? You mean Final Fantasy 13? And or old Smart Guys episode. Smart Guys, likely, they don't exist. And what I mean by that is, if anything, if they do, it's just a raw video. It wouldn't be the edited versions. Because I think if I edited them, probably they were on the working hard drive, you know, the operating system hard drive, and then I would upload them to YouTube and then delete. As for those old playthroughs, it's very possible they're on those old external hard drives. I don't have time. Like, when do I have time to mess with that? Right? If anything, that might be something for a one-off stream.
I fucking love how Phil goes from saying that time is never an issue for him or whatever, to saying he has no fucking time. I'd like to remind people again that on his last day off, he spent 4 hours watching a YouTube playthrough of a video game. 4 fucking hours. He made like 6 YouTube snort videos in the fucking, you know, a couple of days ago. It went ham on making YouTube snort videos. Mr. No Free Time has a lot of free fucking time all of a fucking sudden. Why the fuck is Phil doing a chipmunk impersonation? Let me try and go back and forward a frame here. Yeah, it's a bit too bloody, because he's shaking his fucking head. Let's see if we can get a clear Phil image. There you go, there's fucking peak male performance right there. Prophet saying, I highly doubt he has any backups of his streams. He uses YouTube as a backup. I agree completely. I agree absolutely completely. I'm convinced. I'm certain of that actually, because he's talked about it before. He's talked before about how he has to use the live streams to try and trim out some stuff. If any part's corrupt, he tries to, you know, instead use a YouTube editor to trim out the parts that aren't relevant, so he just has the fucking parts that are relevant. He uses the recorded live stream whenever his uploads, you know, corrupt. But the thing is, though, he's not had a corrupted upload since the 24th of July or something. It's been a long time. It's like it fixed itself magically whenever Phil stopped asking for a new PC shit. It's magical.
Thing to do, but right now we're so busy we can't do that. But let's say we have nothing to do one night. All right, tonight's the experiment with the old shit stream. We're gonna try to plug in those old hard drives, see if they turn on, plug them in, see if we can read video files, see which ones they are, right? Play them live on the stream, see how they look, and see what's, you know, we can figure it out. But I don't have time to do that. I just don't. I'm still trying to find time to.
You don't need to fucking do it as a live stream, Phil. Not. Why do you think fucking Rambo and Howard fucking, you know, abandoned your ass? You don't have to turn everything into fucking content. You cleaned your fucking closet and made that into fucking content. You're trying to fucking learn how to do YouTube snorts and you turned it into content. You don't have to fucking turn every single facet of your fucking miserable, pathetic life into content. You fucking idiot.
film private patron videos. I'm still trying to find the time to do personal shit behind the scenes. I don't have time to test those hard drives right now, sadly. Am I excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage? I don't know.
That's a fucking great point there. The 24th of July was the last corrupted video from Phil Burnell. The 23rd of July was Jasper reviewing WWE Champions on Phil's phone. So, Sunspot Gallery saying the phone reveal rattled him. I just think it's funny, it's a day apart between Phil's phone showing WWE Champions, and then a day later one of his uploads corrupted. But then after that, it's perfectly fucking fine. Very strange there. That is there a correlation, just a coincidence, a day apart? I don't know. It's just bizarre. Phil's fucking hard drive is suddenly amazing and doesn't corrupt anymore. It's a fucking miracle. The miracle of renting.
I don't even know if the people who worked on the original Assassin's Creed games are still working at a company. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a long time ago. If they're still there and they're bringing them back to make that style of game great, but I don't know if you can trust a new dev team to hit that same hot iron, that same, you know what I mean, spark that same fire that a decade ago was really good. I guess we'll have to see. No, I've never been a smoker. What's up, Bob? How are you? Alex is doing the hard drive test as a post-closet Apocalypse stream event. Am I allergic to effort? No, I'm allergic to you because you're an asshole, so you're banned. But no, there's a difference between lack of effort, okay, or, hold on. There's definitely a difference between lack of effort and lack of time. Lack of effort means I just don't want to try, right? Lack of time means I don't have time to do these things. If I'm already here 6 days a week streaming full time, if I'm struggling to do the things I need to live up to, I have patrons pledging to my Patreon for private
See, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. The guy didn't give him any money to say that. He got leaned by the guy, but he has triggered this wonderful little rant. I'm going to rewind this.
Am I allergic to effort? No, I'm allergic to you because you're an asshole.
There we go. So right now, so that didn't cost a single penny, right? The guy was in his chat. That's a simple question. I think he knew he'd probably get leaned for it, you know. And it's a very fucking fair point. He's a lazy bastard. Phil's one of the laziest people to ever exist on YouTube, in my opinion. He is definitely allergic to effort. Why do you think he's fucking big on YouTube snorts right now? Because he doesn't have to try to worry about editing either. It does it for him.
So you're banned. But no, there's a difference between lack of effort, okay, or, hold on. There's definitely a difference between lack of effort and lack of time. Lack of effort means I just don't want to try, right? Lack of time means I don't have time to do these things. If I'm already here 6 days a week streaming full time, if I'm struggling to do the things I need to live up to, I have patrons pledging to my Patreon for private videos. I have to make those, right? If I'm struggling to have just the time to do those obligations I already have, right? Then how am I supposed to have time to do the next extra thing, the next extra thing, the next extra thing? There's a difference between effort and time management. My time management is bad because I just don't have enough time to do all the things that are required of me, all right? So when you say that, oh, am I allergic to effort? I say, no, I'm allergic to assholes like you. You can go fuck off because you're a piece of shit. I would love to have more time to do things. I would love to have more time to spend with my family. I don't. I'm already struggling with the way my life is. Please kiss my fucking ass. Yes, Snow Carl, absolutely people completely underestimate, not just me, but people underestimate in general the amount of effort that goes into content creation. They do. A lot of people see it as, oh, this person just turns on a camera or turns on the internet and they just make content all day long and it's so simple and anyone can do it. And you can just sit there and fucking do it and there's no stress involved and there's no, you know what I mean? There's no thought involved, there's no effort, whatever. How, isn't it funny, all right? I'm sitting here and I'm doing one take YouTube shorts and people are blown away. They're like, wow, he literally does one take. They saw it live on the Midnight Fight Express stream. I literally opened up my camera, here's a YouTube short, boom, 60 seconds. Wow. That takes effort. That takes years of practice. That takes a lot of concerted energy and thought to do that. And not stutter and not fuck up and have to start over a million times. It really does. But, oh, that's easy, right? You just sit there and, oh, it's so easy to just sit here and sit in front of 300, 400 people a day and just talk, keep the conversation rolling and have intelligent things to say. Yeah, oh, it's so piss easy. All right? No. If it was so easy, every fucking person on the planet would do it. Right? Why would people not be doing this? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. No, it's just morons saying dumb shit like that.
Prophet points out perfectly that Phil wakes up at 10:40 AM, waddles into his office, hits start stream. Pretty much. However, he says she stutters sometimes when she streams. Sometimes that isn't that big a deal. Personally, I have a speech impediment of sorts. I have a kind of weird speech impediment where I do sometimes stutter because I speak too fast. Even for a Scotsman, I sometimes speak too fast, and it's something I think is part of my childhood because I didn't actually. I had a strange fucking thing where I didn't actually talk when I was younger, when I should have started talking, so I had to kind of catch up in a sense. I was kind of weird. I would like point at things and my sister would fucking tell my mum and dad what I wanted. I was that kind of child, you know, I was like, I'll just point at something and she would help translate for me what I wanted because maybe I was just so much of a fucking lazy bastard back then. I thought, fuck, who cares about fucking talking? I'll just point at what I fucking want. Who knows? But I still had to fucking learn how to fucking talk, so I had to fucking, you know, I'm only fucking like 4 years old, 5 years old, some fucking shit, very young, very fucking young. But I had to fucking actually, you know, do some fucking, you know, learn how to fucking talk because I wasn't actually using, you know, fucking my, you know, my basic skills as I should fucking do as I at fucking age, you know. Stuttering, I mean, obviously stuttering is a very big deal for people. Where you're right there. It's one of those things. They fucking made a fucking movie about it. With, what's his fucking name? Who's that fucking British actor that's always acting posh? Shit, who is he? You know, the King's Speech. That movie. You know, like he was a notorious stutterer, and he fucking fought to overcome it so he could actually, you know, give his, you know, speech to the people. Yeah, like fucking Colin Firth. Is it Colin Firth? His name's not Colin, is it? Is it Colin Firth? Anyway, I didn't think his fucking name was Colin. I forget who it is. But you know what I'm saying, though? I'm saying stuttering is a thing that some people do suffer from, have to overcome. Isn't the president a stutterer? The president of the United States is a stutterer, I believe. At least he was in the past, and he had to work to overcome it. So as I'm saying, though, it can happen to anyone. It can affect anyone. And yet, it shouldn't stop people from doing what they want in life, you know. Yeah, it's bizarre. Phil fucking trying to pretend he fucking does amazing shit because he fucking turned... Phil is an extremely lazy person. I'm a lazy person. The thing is, I can readily admit I'm a lazy son of a bitch. Kevin Yorker, Joe Biden has dementia. Joe Biden's old as fuck, it's no surprise. Joe Biden is extremely old, and it's one of those things where it's like, you got... It's not just that as well, Trump's the same. Trump's not that fucking much different in terms of they're both idiots. Trump's bad for America, Biden's bad for America, a lot of fucking people in politics in America are bad for America, just like a lot of people in UK politics are bad for Britain. Politicians in generally are bad for the fucking countries they are governing because they have their own self-interest at heart, primarily more than the interest of the people they're meant to fucking govern. That's just my take on it. I'm a bit of a fucking... That's a different fucking tangent altogether. Let's just not talk about that shit, man. Let's not get into fucking politics. Back to the matter is, Phil's a lazy bastard. He can't admit he's a lazy bastard. I'm a lazy bastard. I can admit it. I am a lazy fucking bastard. When it comes to this shit, man. Phil should try... He pretends he fucking works hard when he puts an effort into talking. His effort into talking and lying and trying to retcon shit which we know is fucking false. He'll try and pretend things happen a different way and we have facts to counter that shit.
However, I will say this. I do feel, and I feel pretty upset about this. Times have changed so much in the last 14 years. When I started on YouTube, all right, if you had talent, it didn't matter if you had money, it didn't matter if you had notoriety, it didn't matter if you were a nobody. If you had talent, you could get noticed on YouTube for said talent, and you could actually become popular. Not necessarily rich and famous, but you could at least get some popularity and do something with it. Today,
Phil is just basically bragging here. He's saying he was very talented when he started on YouTube. And anyone that's become popular since he started on YouTube isn't talented.
It's not based on that anymore. From what I've seen, there's tons of people out there who have passion and talent, and they just don't get noticed because the people who have the money and the people who have the notoriety and you know what I'm saying? They're the ones who get pushed to the forefront while everyone else just gets hidden in the background.
So for people that are kind of upset, I think YouTuber jealousy early because he was angry at the Detractor restreamers not shit. This is clearly YouTuber jealousy now. This is undeniably jealousy of other YouTubers in general. Kasky's saying they went to a terrible Glasgow school and someone I used to be friends with now sits in Parliament for the SNP down in London. Never would have thought. It's crazy. Most politicians in general, I feel, have their own self-interest at heart, especially the ones that are in power. And, you know, I'm not saying all politicians are fucking bad, don't get me wrong, but the ones that seem to have the most fucking influence just tend to have their own self-interest at heart. But I don't want to fucking get into politics, guys. I try not to do that shit. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. Phil the politician, man, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine Phil fucking trying to run for like fucking the Republican Party for the like Washington or something? As a, what would he run as? Would he run as like some, like, not a governor, but senator? I don't even know how, I don't even know if fucking workings, I don't know if there's like certain things that people need to do, but can I just say, I want to become senator? Or did I fucking have to hit certain things first, like mayor or something? The lazy party candidate. Exactly. Pig farmer.
Didn't used to be like that. Like I said, today, why am I known and do I have any kind of following? Because I started at a time when it was easy to get noticed. That's why. If I didn't start in 2008, I would never be here today. No one would know who the fuck I am. I'm lucky in that regard that I started at exactly the right time, okay? But no one else today gets that kind of luck. You know, they have to really scrape and claw. And sadly, I hate to say it, they have to play by this horseshit game, right? You know what I'm saying? They have to really work hard to even get a sliver of notoriety. And even then, it's fleeting. You get a video with 1 million views, there's no guarantee that anyone's going to check out the rest of the content on your channel because the way YouTube works. It used to be you get a 1 million view video, you're set, everyone's going to see your channel and related, everyone's going to watch it from now on. It doesn't even work like that anymore. Oni Hack says, what's the upcoming game you're looking forward to the most? This month, Earthbound. No exaggeration. Yes, an old retro game. Outside of this month, moving forward, in October, I'd say the Resident Evil 8 DLC. In November, I'd say God of War Ragnarok, and I am very intrigued by Sonic Frontiers. And in December, Callisto Protocol. Even though there's a lot of good games. Just listen to this December now. Midnight Suns, Callisto Protocol, Dragon Quest Treasures, High on Life. That's not a bad December. In fact, that's a pretty fucking good December. Yes, I like Pokemon games. I'll be playing the new one in November. Would I say I have a good work ethic or a better work ethic than most of my peers? Do I have a good work ethic? Yes. Do I have a better work ethic than most of my peers? I have no idea. I don't pay attention to them. You guys tend to tell me I do. Like a lot of people say, Phil, the reason we like your style is because you're very consistent. You have a set schedule. We know when you're here every day. You're here consistently a lot every week. We know to trust you. When you say you're there for a stream, you're generally always there for the stream with little exception. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm a dependable and very steady content creation style guy. While a lot of other people apparently are flaky, and even some of the biggest streamers out there, they're not dependable. They might or might not be there, but yet millions of people flock to watch them when they do put out shit. So, at least that's what I'm told, but I wouldn't know because I don't watch these people. I only know what you guys tell me. Battle, look, I'm already doing the schedule, the short schedule. I don't want to do the daily wrap as a minute. I can't do the daily wrap in a minute.
The snort schedule. I'm sure you just said snort schedule there.
Because the whole point of the daily wrap is supposed to be a summary of everything I've done in one day. I can't do that in a minute. When I did a podcast and 2 gameplay streams, there's no way I can intelligently relay all that information in 1 minute. It's just not going to happen. So the short schedule works as a short because I can do it in a minute, but just talking about tomorrow and if I have time to cram in any other information. I can't do that with a wrap-up show like that. It has to have more information than a minute, so. No, I'm not doing a second playthrough of the Quarry. 1 was enough for me. Did Resident Evil 6 deserve all the hate that it got? I think it was a decent game. It was a decent game. It just wasn't a decent Resident Evil game, and that was the problem. I loved Resident Evil 6 as a co-op game with a buddy. That's one of the best games at the time. I thought it was the best co-op game I'd ever played at that point. But it's not Resident Evil. In fact, only one of the 3 campaigns in the game even feels anything like Resident Evil. It's an action game. And that's what Capcom was going for, and people didn't like that. They want horror, and there's not horror in that game, so you're not going to like it if you're looking for that, you know? So I get the hate, but it was still an exceptional game for what it was. Okay. All right, guys, let's take a brief break. All right? Not going to be a long one. It'll be a shorter one today, but I'm going to jump into Saints Row. Like I said, if I can beat Saints Row today, this would be great. This would be ideal because then I can actually start with Earthbound sooner rather than later, which I want to do, and I know that I have a focused audience. It may not be my mainstream audience, but I have a focused audience who want to see Earthbound and have already said that they will support it. So I'm excited. I want to play Earthbound with you guys. So let's see if we can finish Saints Row today, but I'm not going to try to, push it. Let's just see what happens, okay? Okay, guys, thank you for a great podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time.
Shut. Sorry, let me fucking do the bingo horns. That was my mistake. I pressed spacebar and I thought it was on YouTube video so I can pause it, but it was actually hovered over the NLG horns, so it played the horns. He did not say bills. No, he really did not fucking say bills. No, I'm amazed at that. Sorry, Cascade, for the false NLG horns.
All right. I know how much you love Cartoon Phil. And you know how much he looks just like me. Spitting image. All right, well.
Reminder that Cartoon Phil was made by Darkside the Phil, a detractor. Sent it to him, and it's like the other half of. It's a funny detractor meme because it's how Phil sees himself, and yet the other half of that detractor image is Phil looking like a evil Nazi, pig. So there we go. Weekend's been fine for me, Cascade. I woke up earlier than I wanted to, and I just chilled, played some games. It's just been a very lazy, chill Saturday, and I had a fucking nap, and I woke up behind dinner, and then stream bingo. I've had an extremely lazy, chill day.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, oh, that's right. I did the fighting games last night, so it's smaller. I need to reposition. How's that? I can never, dude, seriously, I can never tell anymore. With the old background, I could see, but now I can never see if this is aligned with this border. I love the new borders, by the way, that I added this year. They're so much better than the old ones I used for years and years, but they're harder to see. I think that's center now, I hope. All right, guys, it's going to be a brief break. This is not going to be a long one. In fact, you know what? I won't even run an ad or nothing, all right? I'll just mute the mic, and I'll go use the restroom, and I'll see what my wife's up to, and then we'll go from there, all right? Guys, I'll be right back. Thanks.
So Phil is fucked off for now. I'm just going to spam the right arrow button on YouTube so we can see when he comes back. Oh, he's back. Guys, we're still playing bingo. He needs to say bills, he needs to say sound good, he needs to cross his arms, fold his arms in siege mode, and he needs to have random scat talk.
Okay, guys, let's...
The bingo ends when he hits record for YouTube. For, you know, the gameplay. So, we are 4 away. Kevin Yorkers wondering where were the 2 big bills this weekend? He apparently paid them. There you go.
So get started, shall we? Let's do this. Let's get into the end game of Saints Row 1, which I have absolutely no clue how it ends at all. Okay. They released a Skull and Bones gameplay trailer. Am I interested? Considering the fact that all reports that the game was insanely rushed to get it done before their grant, with I believe it was the Singapore government ran out to make the game, and the game is going to be a broken mess and a piece of dog shit. No, I don't really care. No, I've not seen the Xbox Series X background. It looks like the original Xbox background. Then again, I didn't really own the original Xbox until much later in its life cycle, so I wasn't like a huge fan of it, or would I really probably even recognize it. Okay. Adjust the leaderboard at the bottom? What do you mean? What's wrong with the leaderboard at the bottom of the screen? What do you mean? My ruin. What happened? There's no super chats. There's no new members. Guitar player's the biggest tipper. What's wrong?
My family feels safer already.
Oh, it's fine now. Oh, okay. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the...
Well, shit. That's the end of bingo, guys. That is the end of bingo. Sadly, we have got 21 out of 25. Unbelievably, he didn't say bills. Which baffles me. You would think he would have said bills, but there you go. We've done quite well with the bingo card as well. We've done quite well. You know, 21 out of 25 is still a strong card. And no scat talk either, which is strange. That's another one that might be on a chopping block. It seems to not do it as often as he usually does, the scat talk humour thing. That may be another one that we need to just get rid of for now. But, you know, just because it's very sporadic and not as common as it used to be. So, we'll have to wait and see, I don't know. Let's hit live. We are an hour behind Phil, by the way. We are a whole hour behind Phil. So he was at $10 before in tips, and you know, an hour ago. Let's see what it is right now. $20. $20. And he's had a super chat as well from since 1988 bro, which was actually, was it recently? Yeah, it was recently. I will say kind of. Somebody super chatted him saying, I watch your vids, but first time catching your stream live. Cool. Some fucking random nutter. Anyway, fuck it. Phil's playing Saints Row. He's desperately trying to get a finish right today because he's tired of it and he wants to fucking play Earthbound. But that's the end of DSP Bingo. That is the end. So I'm going to wrap up as well, guys. Otherwise, if I can keep you guys too long. I'm not sure if anyone is restreaming. Let me actually very quickly check. Let's just see if anyone's restreaming. Nah, it's just the raw DSP archive and Dark Days Mirror. Play When Your Beliefs is streaming later on, it looks like. Snort Hogan made a new video. A couple of new videos, but there you go. Snort Hogan made 4 new videos. 5. Fucking hell, Snort Hogan, calm down. Jesus Christ. Snort Hogan's been going ham lately with any fucking videos. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, there's no fucking Detractor restreams, it's just a normal one. But if you want to watch the rest of it, you know where to fucking go. Fuck it. I'm going to just end things how I usually end things. I am going to play Notorious PIG Contributions by Pixar Animations. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, how you spend it. Or if you're on Sunday like D-Dog is, you know, I hope you enjoy the start of your Sunday if you're on that side of the planet. Hope you all do well, hope you all enjoy the rest of your time, the rest of your weekend at least. I will catch you guys more DSP Bingo tomorrow. Until then, hope you all have a good one. Thank you all for super chats and the conversation. Keep me writing the bingo card. I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope you all have a good one. Catch you guys later. Peace out.
On September 14th, a pre-authorized payment of $16.51 from PayPal.
All right, Luna Mills has tipped me $1.30. It says, "I'm back. What's your favorite type of shower?" When you're showered in money. When you go outside, all of a sudden, greenbacks start falling from the sky, and you raise your face up. You're like, oh, you start dancing. You go, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thank you for the first tip of the day. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Show me the money. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. And it's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone.